Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is Obeng Darko. Today I have with me a very good friend, brother, very deep man. And we are going to have an interview with him. And we will extract a lot from his wisdom, the depth of his soul and of his spirit. So if you happen to join me, especially the youth, the African youth, I don't know the definition of when they say somebody is youth, but he's a young man. So we'll bring him on and we'll take it from there. So, over. Kwaba.
Yeah. Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me on, sir.
The honor is mine. The honor is mine. So I'm not good at introduction, so I'll try.
That's okay. It's okay.
So I will read if I don't pronounce it. It's okay. So today I have with me Isaac Osei-Kissi. Isaac is an entrepreneur, actually tech entrepreneur, which means he's into IT. It's not like us. We make ourselves dirty. He's a business leader. He's gained a lot of international experience from the US, from UK, and currently he's in Ghana. So he's a chartered accountant by training and has experience in working in several industries, including software development, healthcare supply chain, and informatics, strategic sourcing, telecoms, fast-moving consumer goods, education, package holiday. That one, I don't know. You explain. While working as a strategic sourcing negotiator for Med Access Incorporated, Isaac negotiated over $500 million in terms of contract coverage for medical and surgical supplies. He's the founder of ghcourses.com. Below are some of the companies that he has worked with. So he will tell us more about that. So Ike, I will take you to Kwabena Nkrumah University. So, thank you.
Yes.
Can see your YouTube as well. He has a YouTube channel. He has a lot of courses that our people need. The other day, we saw a lot of our youth at what they call job fair. And it was very striking for me that we have a lot of our young men and women looking for job. So, yes. Brother, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yes.
Yeah. So you take it. You tell us what you want to tell us about yourself. I've read it, but you have to put English in it.
Yeah. Awesome. Once again, I appreciate you having me on, and for all your audience, I would say I'm glad to be here. And I'm glad to be a part of this wonderful movement led by my brother Kwabena. So we he and I go way back in the days. We were Conti boys. That's Unity Hall at Kwabena Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I did BT.
Yes.
That time, yes. So I think we were in the same block, right?
Yes.
I was at 160 and I came to 52.
Yes.
I was So we were on the same block.
4-4. I was in 4-4. So
okay.
Are you
yes. So we go way back. So for me, I think immediately I finished my final exam. I think it wasn't even up to a month. Yes. I left to the UK for further studies.
Wow.
And yes, immediately I left for further studies, and in the process, I became a chartered accountant. I don't even use it now. I'm even a fellow, but I don't use it. So, one thing led to another. I think one of the things that I noticed in the UK, not so much in the States, but in the UK, it was very, very difficult breaking into your first job, especially being an African foreigner. I don't know about it today, but I probably submitted more than 500 applications.
Wow.
Because I had 2 degrees. One is a quantity surveying degree. At that time, they were picking a lot of our colleagues. Of our BT class, it was so striking. Probably about 50% of us found ourselves in UK, and most of them got good jobs in the construction field. Yes, straight from Ghana. But I wasn't so lucky. So I found myself being a chartered accountant, having QS degree, and struggling to get any decent office or career related kind of job. And it took a long while. I remember I had to move to Manchester, and that is where I had my first break. It didn't come easy. It came, for me, it was like submitting, probably in Manchester, I probably submitted close to 100 applications. And then what? Yes, I have a very checkered background, man. It's not easy. So one day I had a little bit of a brush with the company that I used to work for. Look, I was almost at the verge of qualifying for my ACC. I mean, the level 3, passing everything, and I was still working as a security job, man. So.
Watchman.
Yes, dignified watchman. You know, it worked for us because see, you're in school and you do the watchman in the night, and then the night is where you study, and then in the morning you go back to school. So it was that it was tough. So I was doing that. I had a little bit of a brush with my supervisor, who happened to be a little bit, I think probably a little bit he had a racist feeling day. So he wanted to unload it on me, and I wouldn't budge on those things. So I remember I was off one day and he called me that I should come to work. I said, today's my off day. I need to rest a little bit. I'd worked like 6 days. And he said, come back. I said, today, dear, sir, I can't make it. Yes. He said, hey, look, you have to know that your job is your first priority in the world. I immediately stopped him there. I said, look, my job, my family, actually, my God is my first priority. My family is my second. Job is probably a distant third or fourth. Wow. So honestly, a certain level of boldness came to me. I don't know where it came from. And I didn't have any there was no backup, no plan B. But that thing just shook my spirit so much that I literally spoke my mind. And to hell with the consequence. Then, yes. Then on my way going home, right, on the bus, I wasn't even driving back there, Manchester. Okay. So on my way going back on the bus, I had my phone ring. And they say, are you Mr. Kissi? I say, yes, I am. Who is it? They say, oh, you came for an interview with a recruiter some time ago. So I was even wondering, is it the quantity surveying job or finance job? Which one? Which one is it?
Well, you have sent so many of them.
Exactly. So to fast forward, I found myself in a temporary gig as assistant, finance assistant. It wasn't even assistant accountant. So I was working within the treasury function of a company called My Travel. So that's where the package holiday thing came. Okay. So My Travel owned a lot of hotels around the world. They had their own airlines. So and then they had their own resorts all over, from Cyprus, Egypt, Turkey, US, Canada, everywhere, Jamaica, Barbados, everywhere. And the workforce was close to 20,000 at that time. So I ended up starting my career in the treasury function. So assisting them with foreign currency exposures, their hedgings and things, and then also hedging on fuel, aviation fuel. So they had to do hedging. So that's where I started my career. As a temp, I was supposed to be there for 8 weeks. I ended up staying there for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Yes. So I could go on and on. I don't want to be
Mr. Abdul Edi, thank you for joining us. And motivational mode. Thank you for joining us. So we will have people join us in and out.
That's okay.
As you know, today I have my dear friend, brother Isaac Osei-Kissi, with us. Very experienced, and he carries himself from Ghana to England to America to Kuwait, everywhere. So we are having a chat because we need to know, the journey. Because a lot of our young men, I think, without the right information, it becomes difficult to at least have some kind of peace, especially with those who have gone to school. Yesterday we had a program on Peace FM on something of the sort. All right, and my dear friend Udia Hinkai, he asked a question: Is there anything hidden from the youth? Is there something that they have to know? And so those of you who have gone through it, we need to ask you. So maybe you tell us about family, and then we go into business.
Yes. Awesome. So family, I'm married with 3 wonderful kids. They are all girls. So I'm a girl's daddy.
You get a lot of fun.
Yes. I have two teenagers and 1 4-year-old. We call it pension baby. And we just had August 17th, we just crossed 19 years of marital union. So
congratulations.
Next year will be a big 2.0.
Wow. A very young man.
Yes. I remember I went out with my my first daughter and said, is that your wife? I said, no. You started a bit early. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So from England, you went to. Let's continue.
Yes. So I worked with my travel close to 3 years, and then moved to a company called those I will call it Pipex Home Call. It was a telecoms company, which later I think became Carphone Warehouse or part of the Carphone Warehouse group. It was a big telecoms company. And then I was there, I think, for about 2 years or so. Then I moved to a company that you and I will know very, very well, PZ Cousins International. Okay. They do things like there's a lot of these. They are primary focus. Yes, because fast-moving consumer goods, imperial leather soap and all those kind of things. So a lot of their market, probably about 50-60% of their market base or their distribution outlets are in Africa. Okay. So that's when I got to know how Europeans are making a lot of money. Or Americans say they are making a killing out of Africa. When you see the financials, you see where all the money is coming from. It's like 50-60% of all their revenue is coming from Nigeria. Right, and all the big executives are sitting in UK, in Greece, in Ireland, and that's the company's gold mine. It's Nigeria. Then I got to know and so from there I moved to the States. I worked with New York University for about a year, NYU. So from
as a lecturer, as what?
No, I worked within their finance. I was there as a business analyst, senior business analyst. Okay. So New York University is a massive organization. I was surprised that the unit at that time when I joined, they had a new off-campus. Actually, it was an offshoot of NYU in Abu Dhabi. So they had just so that the guys from Middle East, they don't have to travel all the way to New York to study. So they created a campus there, and it was actually funded by the Dubai Emirates and all those people. They funded a campus there, and I think a lot of the big Ivy League schools have their campuses in Dubai and all those places. So Georgetown, I think University of Pennsylvania, all these big universities, Stanford, they all have their campuses there. So you notice that. So when they set them up, then their professors will travel to Dubai, maybe spend 2 or 3 months there, go and lecture, and then come back. Some of them chose to stay there because that place is a tax haven. So instead of being taxed at New York federal government tax rate, and and state tax. They would just go and enjoy themselves with tax-free environment in New York, and they like there. So I worked there as business.
But the same professors who complain when the business people dodge it.
Oh, those kind of professors, they are the NYU and those kind of professors. Those guys, they know how to make money. Some of them are very, very, very financially astute.
That's right.
And I got to see a little bit of that when I was at NYU. Then I didn't like the lifestyle in New York. If you're watching me from New York, look, I like the city. I like to visit you guys, but it wasn't family friendly for me at that time. So I was always looking for a place that would be a little bit more family friendly, because we were still young, our kids were young, and we wanted a place a little bit more cheaper, a little bit more family friendly. So we ended up going to Texas, Dallas, Texas, which was super, super family friendly. Cost of living was reasonable. The weather too was not too bad like in other places. You get a lot more sunshine than cold weathers. So went there and then got my first job working in healthcare supply chain with a company called Broadlane. So I was with Broadlane for I think about 2 years. Then we got purchased by one of our bigger competitors, which was MedAssets. And I stayed with MedAssets until I returned home, I think in 2015, 2016.
Wow.
So it's been a very, very long journey.
Why did you come home?
That's a whole chapter. I'll try. So when I was working at MedAssets, I have always been entrepreneurial at heart, all the time. When I was at tech, I was making more money than my professors were. But you didn't know, I made a lot of money when I was on campus. Yes. Wow. Yes. I made serious money.
Tell me about this.
So, okay, the first episode happened this way. When I think second year, at that time, I didn't really have anybody that was taking care of me financially, because for some of us who were coming from very, very hard backgrounds, you are lucky when you're going to school and maybe somebody is able to help you small. So you end up going around, maybe going to friends, around family members, and then whatever anybody can scrape around, you take, right? So this is a time when a little bit of going around, the scraping was just so insufficient that you couldn't even you couldn't even survive for the first 1 week or 2 weeks. That was all. So I had to be very, very radical in my thinking. So I got to campus, I think second year, first semester. Then my roommate at that time, he went out and bought some nice sandals. So when he bought that sandals, man, I needed a footwear badly. Okay. But this guy was broke. I didn't have nothing. So thanks be to God that within that same week, you remember the loans that we were getting, those stipend loans we were getting. Yes. So the moment the loans landed, I got mine. I asked my roommate that, look, where did you get this shoe? He said, oh, I got it inside the Yija market there, which is a market around the tech area, right? Yes. So he took me to that place. He was thinking that I was going to buy shoe to wear to feel good. Look, he didn't know that I was going to stake my entire life on that kind of thing. So I went there and I met the guy who manufactures a locally made shoe. Sandals. So when he introduced me to the man, I just said, look, sir, I want sandals to buy, but I'm not going to wear it. I want to use it as a sample. I came from Accra. I want to use it as a sample, go back to Accra and get some market, because this sandals you have is like world class quality and everything. He thought I was joking. So I just went and dumped all my SNIT money into his hands. So look, I don't have enough money. This is all the money I have. This is my wealth. So this is the money. Give me as many samples as you can and let me go and look for market. So remember, I was in school. So he told me to come after 3 days. I came after 3 days. He did like 15 samples for me. Got the 15 samples. I jumped into the very first available STC bus I could get back to Accra. Then when I landed in Accra, within 30 minutes, I had a huge market. So I got a huge market. So I came back with an order of like 70 something pieces, and I didn't even have the money to seed the. So I sold the 15 pieces for about 200% margin. Brought all the money, threw it back on the guy's lap, and that's how the business started. So I generated a lot of, I was making 300, 400% margins on those shoes. I was selling them on Unity Hall, where the guys, yes. I was selling them Independence Hall, everywhere. So I did that for a whole year. Now I had agents in Accra who was doing that for me. I had agents at University of Ghana as well. So by the time I could say that, when all the traveling to UK became a fashion, and I needed to go.
you joined them.
And I needed to go so badly. I found a way through family that I was able to secure the visa. But thanks be to God, I had saved so much money that where I was living, my dad died early and my mom was very old and illiterate. She was living in Nkoko at that time. So I was living with my brother in Accra. So with the very first day I got the visa, it was surprising to him. Like, Charlie, how did you do that? I said, okay, it's possible. That's like, how are you going to get money for the ticket? I just said, relax. I have that covered. I remember today, I paid $650 out of selling shoes and to buy my air ticket. And then we did the air ticket thing. We did all the labor work in London, Waterloo Station and Piccadilly Circus, all those places, doing all these construction things. We were like laborers. Worked and then came back. When I was coming back, I knew that, look, I had to come up with a cash generating opportunity. Else, the ice will dry very fast on me and I'll be in serious trouble. So I did the survey. I was looking at all the guys on campus. A lot of people needed printing because we didn't have textbooks. Remember, we all did photocopy. So I bought a photocopier and brought it on campus. And then I bought a second one. So one was at Unity Hall, right at the base of it. You remember they had a communication center there?
Yes.
It was right. I had one of the copiers right at our block. Oh. And then 2 at the faculty. When you go to where social science building was, I had one. Yes. I ran that thing like mad and I made a lot of money. By the time I was finishing school, I tell you, I was richer than my lecturers.
Wow. So this means that the pressure pushed you to think.
Yes.
So those who had parents who were giving them a lot of money, did you see any of them do those?
No. It's a pressure brings the best juices out of you. Sometimes when we're going through pressure, we don't like it. But in most cases, that is what we need to reinvent ourselves. If everything was provided for me, I wouldn't know I had that capability because I was a little bit, quiet. You knew me. I wasn't very,
a very nice gentleman.
Yeah, kind of cool guy. That's how I came across. But I was always looking for an opportunity. That's right. And the pressure caused me to evolve as a person.
Wow. Fantastic. So then, so that was an interjection. And you have come to Ghana. I was asking you what pushed you to come to Ghana.
Oh, right. Okay. So because of this background, I've always been an entrepreneur. I think the only place I couldn't be entrepreneurial was UK. I don't know why. When I was UK, I was trying to come up with it, but nothing was working. My mind was not even.
They don't want you to have one. Those people don't want you to have one. They want you to be very happy with little.
Yes, it's like UK is the only place that I never really did anything entrepreneurial. So whilst I was working in my job, and the job was very involving, high pressure environment. If I could describe the work I was doing, it was like you'll be surprised. It was cutthroat environment, high pressure kind of thing, but it was enjoyable. It was also fulfilling because all we were doing at that time I was working for Mediaset. I was a strategic sourcing negotiator. What all that big word mean was that they had a business model in the US. It's called the Group Purchasing Organization, GPOs. I think it's the US, maybe Germany too may have a little version of that, but it's a very, very predominant thing in the US where let's say it was in healthcare. So let me try my best to explain it. So the organization has expertise in looking for new technology and looking for deals, especially in healthcare area. Healthcare, anything that you would see within a healthcare setting. So anything from cleaning supplies, so detergents, all the way to maybe a CT scan or MRI machine, anything in between, right? So what we did was we had clients who were hospitals and hospital groups. So in the hospital groups, they are bigger ones. The bigger ones are called IDNs. And then the smaller ones, small acute care centers, little surgery centers. You don't see a lot of them in Ghana, but they are small day surgery centers that somebody can go and do something like a hernia repair, which is a day surgery, and they go back home, right? So all these became like our customer base or our clients. So what do these clients want? They want good deals, right? They want contracts with suppliers. So we would bring suppliers together and we will write a contract on supply. So let's pick maybe any let's say microscopes or blood pressure cuffs, any one of them. So let's say you go to the market to buy, let's say, blood pressure cuff. On the market, maybe it's about $10, $5, whatever it is. But if you present $50 million of potential spend from your clients to the manufacturers of these items, then you can negotiate to get that $10 item to get it to, let's say, $4. That's a massive saving. And then as we write the contract, we put what we call guardrail. And the guardrail was that we make sure that there's no arbitrary price escalation. That means that the manufacturers cannot just say, oh, today is $5, tomorrow is $6, next week is this. No. So we normally will put a guardrail of 3 years around a fixed price contract. And then our customers can buy off those contracts. And as they are buying, then we get some small administrative fee out of every purchase that they make.
So you have manufacturers, you have suppliers, you have the hospitals or the groups.
Yes.
And so what role were you playing?
Okay, so I was a contract negotiator. So in the surgical division, so we had several divisions. We have pharmacy, we have medical units, we have lab, and then we have surgical.
You mean your organization? You were working with the hospitals, or your organization was?
My organization. So I was within the contract negotiation team. That was actually the heartbeat of the organization. It was like 4,000 employees. So, but the place where the machine was ticking really well. And normally when you are working in a place, you have to plan your career so that you land at the heartbeat of the organization, right? Okay. You could start from any peripheral area, this, that, but you have to plan that I want to be at the engine, that right? Because we were the engine of the organization at that time. Okay. So we get into contract negotiation. So what happens is that the contract negotiation takes 18 months or more to negotiate a contract. It's a long process. So let's say wound care. Wound care is a very, very big medical department or category, right? So wound care, anything from the rope that they use to sew your wound, it's called suture, right? To plasters and skin adhesives. This is massive. So what happens is that we start a contract. The hospitals will give us their spend, how much money they are spending in these areas. Line by line, we'll know. So we know how much they are buying per item. And then we will go to maybe the top 5 manufacturers of wound care products. So 3M, right? Johnson & Johnson, other companies. And then we say, look, Johnson & Johnson, we are bringing you $250 million of contract. Now speak English. Okay. And give us your best offer. So they will do that, and then we are working with clinical team. The clinical team, they are like consultants, typically doctors or senior nurses who've been doing this for like 30 years, working with the product. They understand the science behind the product. So we work with them on one hand, and then we work with lawyers. So we have a full legal team on another side, because you have to understand the clinical side, the legal side, then the business side. That's where the pricing and the modeling and things come in. So after doing that for a while, build relationship and that kind of thing. And then also, even prior to that, I had worked in the healthcare informatics sector, or the software side of healthcare. Very complicated, but exciting. I was put on a very big project when I was working with Broadly. It was like a $10-12 million project, software project, and I was put in there as a business analyst. And that really opened my eye and my love for anything technology. So with that, I began to think through, okay, what are the things that I could do to create a business, or to create something, maybe a side, So I was, tinkering with things, and then one thing hit, and I had the idea to develop a healthcare supply chain for Africa. That will be a link between African healthcare systems and then US suppliers. That was the idea. So in doing that, I got some of my friends who were higher ups in the organization, very knew a lot about healthcare, to support me, and these are Caucasians. Some of them were like executives and, executive vice president and things. So they saw the vision, right? So one thing led to another. I thought I could run that business whilst living in America. So when I came to Ghana, one of my partners said, look, Isaac, you have to go to Ghana to really read the temperature on the ground to know whether this thing will work. So when I came, one thing led to another. It was very obvious that I can't run that kind of organization in America. So fate would have it, we got somebody. I was talking to somebody, and who introduced another person who actually knows Ghanaian ecosystem very well, business ecosystem very well. Supposedly they were supposed to know it very well, and actually Africa as well. So we started talking, and the person eventually became a partner. And the terms of our partnership was that I have to be here before the partnership will kick. So I had no choice. I had to come. So, but I had really prepped my mind, because I had actually left my own job almost 9 months. I left my well-paid job 9 months to pursue entrepreneurial career in America. It was in that period that we had a partnership with.
So what were you pursuing? You had left the job?
Yes, I was pursuing this dream. This vision, right? We're building. Yes, we're building. So I had a series of phone calls with some of the top medical distributors in the world. Cardinal Healthcare, Medline Health, Kimberly-Clark, all these kind of big, global distribution. I met some of the big guys at FedEx. They are trade guys. They are international trade people. So it's like you couldn't be doing all that in a full-time job.
Let me interject. Here is somebody who did building technology, a tech. And when people are doing these courses, they think that is the whole world to them.
Yeah.
I've had somebody ask me, what are you doing with engineering? I say, what do you think? The English I'm speaking, you think is what? So how did you move through this? Because sometimes, especially those who are at that stage now, they define themselves with a course. And I think that is a problem for most people. Because I've done engineering, building technology, medicine, and I come out, I want to practice like that. Was that a problem for you?
For me, no. The reason is this. Whilst I was in school, maybe one of the reasons why I turned very entrepreneurial was that I read a lot. So I read, I kind of loved reading. I wasn't even a good reader, but I was very open to new ideas, right? So in my mind, when I was in final year, one of the things I noticed was, Charlie, in my head, I think I'm wasting time here, because I was running a business that was very, very, very successful. right? And here was I having to go to look. I scraped I think I don't even know the word to. I scraped through in my project defense because
You defended
I just
it.
didn't want to be there, man. I was like, why would you go and be making money?
You were a blogger. You had business.
Yes.
You were not
What is
dependent on
what is go to stand in the sun and be doing measuring things and no. So you see, in my mind, I was very flexible.
Okay.
I was open. That is why when I went to UK, I deliberately didn't want to do anything
Construction.
engineering, yes, related. I wanted business. So I was very open in my mind from the get-go. Because the reason is this. Most of us, you may attest to this, maybe you are different. I would say 90% of us, when we were going to school, we didn't get the first choice that we wanted.
Okay.
Right? We didn't, we were just lucky and they handed us something.
You know, our group, they brought about 3 of us. There was the SS group, the A-level group, and the previous A-level.
Yes.
Remember? So that was
that was a lot of people in one class, right?
That's right.
So they had to figure out and throw you somewhere. So wherever you land, you're a graduate. That's the most important thing. So just imagine you building a permanent castle around a course you didn't choose. And you say, look, because I'm a civil engineer or electrical engineering, I did so that's a straight jacket I'm going to wear. You'll be sorry for yourself. The thing is, for me, I knew that entrepreneurial thing was in me and I needed to find expression. Whether it was through construction company or wherever it is, I didn't care. All I cared about is let my life find expression. Because trust me, even those people who did the first degree course that they liked, they didn't have enough information about life to determine what they like, because life evolves. And as the life evolves, then you begin to say, okay, wow, this is an area that I really am passionate about. Right? For instance, my wife did journalism in a first degree.
Yes.
We had our first child, and I saw how she was taking care of the child and how she was like overly protective. I said, I think you are very, very, very good with children. No? At that time, we were going to pay money, I think, the University of Greenwich, for her to do her master's in mass communication or something like that in London. When we looked at it, we changed our mind. Said, look, I think you are good. This place, you are passionate. So she changed her mind last minute and went and did her master's in early childhood education in Sheffield Hallam University.
Okay.
Right? Today, she runs a school and she's passionate about children. She loves children. If she has said, oh, man, I went to journalism school, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be, look, throw those things away.
First degree. You made a very good point, because most people never thought of the courses intentionally, and most people were not even giving. I chose mechanical engineering and agric engineering second degree. They gave me option of mechanical engineering, but non-residence, and agric engineering residence. So I chose the residence.
Come on.
Now, you see, really at that point, at that stage, just as you said, you're just picking a course because somebody has defined it for you. I'm of the thinking that school actually will not give you more than 10% of what you need in life.
You are right.
So you cannot give yourself, you cannot bundle yourself or define yourself with just school. And that's why life becomes very difficult for people who define their world with just academic certificate or the course they read in school. That I did this, I must practice this. And that is the only thing that they read about. So for you, in fact, you were maneuvering, you were weaving through. And that's, for me, that is it. So you can start as a psychology student and end up as a physicist or as a lawyer or as an engineer. It's your life and what you want to weave out of it. Wow. So now you are in Ghana. Send us through. How, when you were deciding to come, friends, families, because you had been away for a while, 10 years, maybe 15 years, 20 years. How did you go through that?
All right, if I obey your indulgence,
Hello? Okay, so today we are in talks with, or you are in talk with Isaac Osei-Kissi. He trained as a building technologist from Kwabena University. That's where we met. He went to UK to work and did accounting there. Then from there, he moved to the US, worked there as well in the haircare industry. He worked in university as well. Then he moved to Ghana. I think the network is not happy. So he moved to Ghana, I think in 2016, thereabout. And we want to ask him the journey. How did he transition after he had been somewhere for a while? How did he go through? What did friends and family tell him when he was trying to move to Ghana? What did they tell him? Yes, it's the network. We understand.
Yeah, okay.
I was asking how, when you decided to move, how was family? How was friends? How did they, how did they take it? Because sometimes that's a major thing, especially from our own community.
Yes, it wasn't easy. I think one of the things I did was I didn't disclose too much information about it, particularly to friends and family. Not that friends and family were bad people or they were cynical. No, I have some really good people around me. I didn't, because I wanted to actually protect them, not me. Because sometimes people can just love you to the point of denying you your destiny. Because see, the level of risk tolerance I have built over the years, many people around me don't have that level of risk tolerance.
Okay.
So if you prematurely spill the beans on many things that you're doing, that involves risk. You are more likely than not going to face these kind of pushback from friends and family. They'll say it in a very loving way, in a caring way, because they haven't gone through your experiences. They are not you. So most of the time, when I'm doing something very, very risky, I'll keep quiet about it and just plug along with it, and just go along, right? And with time, people will get along. It's not if I want to wait till everybody gets along, I will never move. So I think that's what we did. Yes, when some people got a little snivel about what the whole thing, people were concerned. Even to today, people, hey, Charlie, you are brave. Hey, you left this nice America,
Where does that one come from? Where does it come from? That this is a country you have been here for 20 years minimum. You had schooled here. Even though I don't like the secondary school you went to, but you
primary college,
that's not the But you have been here and you decided to move somewhere. When you are coming back, I would expect non-Ghanaians to tell you this. But for me to hear these things from Ghanaians, sometimes
okay. I think it's multifaceted. The first one I'll think about is, the process by which you will go through to get to some of these places. It sometimes can be very humiliating.
Yes.
So you probably go and queue, if it's the British embassy or the American embassy or whatever it is, you probably queue 4 a.m., running around, going to get bank statement, this, that, and you struggle. Sometimes you're even begging people, right, to help you with bank statement, to help you with this document, and then finally you get it. It's like a whole load has been removed from your shoulder. Right? So in people's mind, they think, if you've gone through this massive challenge like this, you've got the opportunity. You say you are going back there. that is one side. The other side too is comfort. So you look at some of the basic necessities of life. If you follow the basic necessities of life, then you will never come back, because you really if once you are working, you have work to do, you don't need to think about the food you eat, the clothes you wear.
Yes.
You don't even need, when I was in Texas, there's no school fees, right?
Okay.
Because you get some of the best schools for free. No school fees, super school, super everything. So you get that. Also, you want any personal possession, you can get it. You can be working at Walmart as you just, you fill up the shelves with produce, and you can drive a Mercedes Benz.
Yes, on credit.
Yes, although you don't own it though. Everything you borrow. You borrow, right? So yes, you borrow those things, and people will just borrow to their neck. And every now after you borrow, every letter that comes through your mailbox, it puts stress on you. The moment you see the letter coming, the white
the car, what should it?
Yes, the white envelopes drop in your. It's like, Charlie, he's taking money away from you, because you're living on borrowing, which is a horrible way to live. So you see, the basic necessities of life, you will have them covered. But when it comes to your potential itself, then you have to ask yourself questions at a certain point, right? Initially, you wouldn't see it. Initially, you are in survival mode. Most of the time, you are from Africa, so you're in survival mode. Then the time comes where you're able to at least beat the survival mode, especially if you are middle class. You went to school, maybe you have a second degree, you probably are doing some nice work, maybe you're working in some nice cushy office job, right? So you'll be able to get yourself a mortgage, you're able to get yourself a decent car, your wife will get a decent car, your children are in some good school. So look, life is fun, life is easy. So when people look at that and probably look at where they've come from, say, oh, Charlie, I can't go back to this hard knock life. And that's part of the reason why people will make those objections.
Like that. This is my take, though. I think that the same energy that people put in anywhere, if you put the same energy and if you put the same concentration, I think over time, 10 years, 15 years, people will have equal or even better life. I say that.
I agree.
And even though a lot of people will disagree with that, because we also took this part. I remember I was in Seattle and somebody saw me when we were in school and they said that I heard that you want to go back. I said, I'm in the university. How can I stay here?
Yes.
And he said, no, don't go. Just try. And my mother was there. I said, no, I don't need to be here. Now, even after school, we went to some other place. People will fight you to say that, why do you want to go? As if when you live in Ghana, they'll pay your food or they'll pay your rent for you. I think part of it is just the talking. It's just the talking, because if the person comes, you have nothing to lose. Even if the person is going to suffer, you're not the one to feed the person. But people will still take it upon themselves and even become offended that you decided to go to your own country.
Yes.
It's so true. It's true. And this kind of thinking has affected a lot of our youth, because most of them really think that the only way out is travel.
Yes, it's true. What you've nailed it right on the head. For me, in hindsight, knowing what I know now, travel is not a bad thing. It's good. Right. It's a good thing, depending on how you plan things. For me, if you're going to, let's say, enhance your skill, better yourself, I think it's good. It gives you exposure. It helps you meet people that you probably would not have met. You broaden your network. But in all of that, you always have to think about where in this world can you make a lasting impact. Most of the opportunities in the world are already explored in very advanced economies. There's very little things to be done when it comes to, let's say, innovation and things like that. But when you bring it here, the impact is massive, because there's a lot of need. Wherever there's need, there's opportunity. So if you are looking at, okay, me and my wife and my little nice babies taking care of ourselves, okay, fine, you can decide to live there. But if you are looking just beyond yourself and actually letting your life find expression and touching lives, then I think the opportunity is rather here. So there must be a point in your mind where you say, okay, look, I'm gonna I think every African must have a way to have an exit strategy where they need to come and help. Because I met a gentleman today, and he is on vacation from Maryland to just this afternoon. And we were just talking. He's into cybersecurity. We were just talking, and he said, look, he got to know that. I mean, he was talking. It was like initially, it was like, when our people come and they want to flex a little bit, it's normal, So we were talking. He didn't know I had gone through that journey. So when he finished, flexing, I said, oh, me too. I was in your shoes, but I came back. He was like, wow, you came back. I said, yes. I said, oh. He said, hey, man, then me too. I would love to do something like that too. I will want to explore. Then I told him that, look, yes, it's a good thing. A lot of people, one of the things I noticed, a lot of people want to come. But the issue is that they want the pastures to become greener before they come. They want healthcare to be fixed before they come. They want security.
So who should
yes. They want security to be fixed before they come, right? They want the roads to be your bad traffic. They want it to be fixed before they come. So better fix it, right? You're into construction. Fix all of those things and then people come.
That's right.
But I was
if you want things to be fixed before you come, I would say don't come.
You'll never come.
No.
So that's what I was telling him. Exactly. I was telling him that, look, most of us, myself included, when we were there, we just complain. Hey, Ghana, this thing's not working. They are this, they are backward. I said, look, don't fall into that boat. If I were you, I look at everything that doesn't work as an opportunity. There's plenty. I kid you not. I think when I came at first, then my biggest challenge was lack of focus. That was my biggest challenge. I had to deal with that. My biggest challenge
what
was
do you
lack
mean by
of focus.
that?
Lack of focus is that I was seeing too many business opportunities. Just too many. You turn your eye here, you see opportunity. You turn, you see. So sometimes, Charlie, what do I do? And when you are doing that, it's not good because you are not focused.
Okay.
Right? And that is because the opportunities, they are everywhere. Everywhere. Yes, there are problems too. The problems are there. I'm not belittling the problem. If I tell some of the problems I've seen and gone through, it's part of the university degree of coming back home. That university degree, everybody must go through. You pay your school fees for that. Some people will dupe you. You have so many. Look, it's terrible. You go through that. I was telling you about my healthcare supply chain partnership. It didn't work. The healthcare supply chain partnership didn't work because our local partner ended up being somebody that you couldn't trust. He was a person that had no integrity. So, and I didn't know. I came with my American mind, with that trusting heart, that openness. Because with my American partners, we started a partnership. We didn't even sign one document for almost 2. I had to literally be pushing and begging them to sign a document when some of them had released funding and there was no document to cover it. I had to push. Let's get it done. Because in most cases, you operate in an atmosphere of trust. Here, you do that, you'll be shot in the leg. I mean, not literally, but that's how it is. But you wouldn't know until you learn, right? It's part of the school fees. But once you pay those school fees and you begin to have patience and have a little bit of stability, I think things begin to open up. And then you see that, you make, to me, it's easier to make an impact here.
Yeah.
It's easier to touch
a lot of the statistics that they put here, much of the difficulties will be in Accra. Okay. And maybe a little bit of Kumasi.
Okay.
Those who go outside Accra, go to Takoradi Sunyai, Second D, Tamale. A lot of this traffic and people trying to trick you. Yes, you get them, but the higher percentage will be in Accra because
Yes.
everybody in Accra is But even that Accra, there is a section of Accra that is up to standard. Where most people like yourself who have gone to a lot of places have come and they've been here for years and they're building and they have gone through a lot of those. Now, when people say, when you come, there are a lot of, well, of course, when you are looking for a way out, you met a lot of troubles, especially, some people, even when you go to England or America, your first few years, things are not, but we still don't
difficult.
It's difficult. We still don't seem to give up. We fight. We still convince us that this is it. So either you do or die, like John said, do or die, So you do, you do or you die. And eventually it starts to work out. I think the same thing should be applied here as well. The same thing should be applied because when you come, the first few years, it's still do or die,
It is.
And you have to get to the position where you say, just as you said, I want to do something more than the comfort.
Yes.
More than the comfort. If you want the comfort, you can go to Cantonments or Transaco or, East Legon, buy some nice place, live there, you and your wife. But if you want to build something like the way you are doing, you go through a lot of things.
You go through, yes.
Yes, you go through a lot of things. So, all right. So tell us about what you do now and,
Yes. So now my hands are in a few things. So I have a tech consulting business that I do consult for big corporations. For instance, like any technology business solution that the business needs, let's say building business dashboards and building any kind of custom solution that businesses need to build. And they need a consulting company that will help them identify what technology to use, what should the workflow be like, and all that kind of thing. We do as a consulting company. And then also I have a virtual tours business that is.
All right, so I think we have, he's frozen, so he will come back. So my name is Kwabena. Okay, go ahead, please.
Sorry, it's the network. This is all part of the Ghana thing, right? You won't find this.
No. I will fight you.
But we will get there. We will get there one day.
I will fight you.
But when the network doesn't work, have patience. It will come back. One day we will not have any lag in network.
Network they freeze everywhere. So that's what I would tell you.
Okay. Right. So I also run GhanaPropertyTours.com, which is a virtual tours company. So basically we call it virtual media company. So when you think about it, if you have any physical business or physical venture that you normally would have clients come in, let's say it's an education institution, it's a hotel, it's let's say warehouse, real estate that people need to see and have a look and feel. They need to have an experience with that place. You can use the virtual tour technology to give them remote access to that so that they can experience the look and feel of it from several thousands of miles away so that it shortens the buying cycle. For instance, especially in real estate, where people are buying houses and they are living in Canada and those things, you create a virtual tour for that property. They're in Canada, they can look through every room, everywhere, 360 degrees, and then make a decision. So that is one of the projects.
Was it part of the original idea that you had?
No.
This one just, how did it come up?
It came up because actually I was doing it because of some of the conversations I've had with friends back in the States, where people have been having a lot of build my house for me and that kind of thing. They send large volumes of money to maybe friends and acquaintances, and sometimes the monies are not very well accounted for, especially when it has to do with family. And in family, it's not just the money that is missing, but the relationship too can be broken.
Okay.
So sometimes you want to preserve the relationship. So one of the ways that, in discussing things with friends over there, you realize that the issue of transparency and accountability is very, very key. So we did it basically to address that problem over there. So if you have a project ongoing here, you can order a tour. We can do that for you. Your Mason said, I've done all this, that, right? And then you do a tour, and then you can review. We call it construction progress tracking. So the progress of that construction can be tracked maybe on a quarterly basis to give you a peace of mind. So that is.
What is wrong if they chop the money? What is wrong? You said that you have.
Look,
that's the reason they chop the money.
What they don't tell you is how difficult it is to make $100.
Then you have to diffuse that in our minds.
It's very, very, very difficult to make that type of money, and but it's so easy to spend that money here. That's the irony. Yes. No, you can you spend it in like 3 hours. It will just disappear in Ghana like that. Like 600 cities, right?
That's right. It's no money.
It's no way it will just go like that. So the people who are bringing that money think it's big money, right? The people who are yes, the outsiders is huge money, but the local people is nothing. It's like air. It just goes into the air and just disappears.
Yes. A lot of them, you see, if you look at the structure of the business culture we have,
right?
Majority of the people who may not have the kind of education you have may not be employed. There may be people who have their own businesses, and a lot of them, if you're doing proper accounting, they see these monies. Okay, they may not have structure to tell you. But a lot of them, even if you convert in dollar, I don't like converting to dollar. I think one cedi here is the same as $1 in America because of what they are used to buy. If I have to live on one cedi, it's just as somebody has to live on $1. I think so, because if I'm going to rent 2-bedroom house, 1,000 cedis, I'm sure 2-bedroom house is not the same as 1,000 cedis converted in dollar. It will be more.
It will be more, yes.
It will be, it will be more. Yes. So then, if I spend 1,000 cedi on 2-bedroom, it's just, for me, it's just the same in terms of the usability if you're using it.
Okay, in terms of function, okay.
That's right. Function, I think it's the same. Yeah, okay. So if my business is 100,000 cedis,
it's $100,000. I want to live in your world, Kwabena.
Yeah. because let's face it. Let's see. If you have to convert my 100,000 cedi to dollar, you're not being fair. The infrastructure are different. The buying power is different environment. Why do you want to bring the dollar here to weigh it? You don't have to do that. Somebody is paid 500 cedis and they say, when I convert it to dollars, it's no. What you are not telling me is how much you're paying on rent. If you make a mistake and you park your car somewhere, how much do they take from you?
Yes. Anyway. But the real estate, I think, for especially most people in America, you realize that surprisingly house prices are sometimes a little bit higher here than in America. That's one of my culture shocks.
Okay, the rent. Yeah, that's why we don't buy. That's why we build ourselves. That's why you will see we build with time, with plan. So you want to go to East Legon to buy a house. Okay, that's fine because you want it finished. We don't do that. We build at discount. So we build ourselves, we employ them. It's different structure. I think we have to have stronger argument if you want to see the beauty in our country. And for those who relocate, I think they must have stronger argument.
Right.
It's like comparing America and Ghana. It's like comparing Apple and maybe Kobe, different things. Yeah. We don't compare them. But people try to convert, like the small boys. They say, when I go to England, I work 1 hour, they give me £5. Don't say that because if you don't have a lot of money there, you work all your life. That's the fact.
And the bills. England, the bills are even higher. Their tax rates are killer, man.
You know, the British man is always the people, our mothers and sisters, brothers who work in our market, a lot of them see money, and that's where you weigh them. You know, but when you come and you say, "Oh, I'm sure most of your mates here who have contributed the same hours that you contributed," when you come, you see that the difference is not much, especially those who are focused. Because you go to another country, you focus, you want to make impact. But if I'm here and I'm playing, and you come and I want to compare our lives, then there's trouble. You know, so we should use the factors well. Because a lot of the times the arguments, we use the same arguments to beat ourselves down. And so we don't see the beauty. The Chinese are not doing those kind of analysis. I watched a Chinese woman video. It said, Ghana is where I made my fortune. That's the word she used. Ghana is where I made my fortune. She didn't say I became rich.
Yes, the fortune. Yes. For me, when I was working at PZK, that's where I got convinced. When I was working at PZK and I saw the numbers that were coming out of Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, I said, "What am I doing here?"
Yeah,
because their entire system, probably even when you combine Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, was probably their what do you call it, gross margins, were 70% coming from these countries.
Look at that.
Yes.
And yet we are here saying, if I move from here and go, I'm not coming back. Look at what somebody did. And my problem is those we send to university. They have to have the mind re-engineered. Because they may have the capacity to build some things which are stronger. And that's a fact. If you're building businesses and you have people who can think systematically in terms of systems and structures, and a lot of things can be explained to them. If you could get one of the reasons you are in business is because you went to tech. I can tell you, because you can see a trace in that. Tech guys, you can see most of our mates one way or the other find themselves trying to do something. You can get majority of them. Unfortunately, half of them are living outside, and they're scared. But we have to go beyond comfort.
Yes. They're scared. People really want to come.
But for me,
scared for various reasons. Family.
The same person who is scared is still wishing that the country will develop. You cannot be scared and wish that. If you're scared, then don't care about us. Stay there. You know. But if it's okay, which we all care, then we must see that it is our responsibility. I made my fortune in Ghana. That for me impresses me. You know, and she said she was a journalist. So I don't know if you have watched that video. Chinese woman, Zonda or something. They are into machines. They have a lot of offices. Now she says they are manufacturing.
One of the things, I'll just to quickly interject, one of the things I noticed is even in the tech space, most of the big name companies that are doing well, or the well-known ones, you'll be surprised that a lot of them, if not majority, are not Ghana owned.
The ones that are here?
Yeah, they are not. Right now, our online news consumption, right? Our online news consumption is being run by foreigners. Most people don't know. Ghana Web is not a Ghanaian own.
You see?
It's a Dutch like yourself who runs it.
People like yourself who have the expertise to say that I'm comfortable in America.
You see, Ghana Web is run by a white Dutch guy. I don't know whether he sold it now, but he's made a serious killing out of it. Right? I've done a few ads here and there. Try to run an ad on Ghana Web. It costs you're talking of 1,000 plus an hour.
To do some ad, I didn't even see the effect.
Yes, you typically the conversion rates are quite low, right? Because the what do you call it? The audience is not very focused, so you get very 0.012% kind of typical conversion rate. It's very, very, very low, right? So Young Ghana doesn't belong to Ghanaians. Pulse doesn't belong to Ghanaians. Most of these, Tonaton doesn't belong to Ghanaians.
Yeah, Tonaton, I'm aware of that. And I think they are even the same group. I see their office in East Lagos somewhere.
Yeah, they don't belong to Ghana.
Our people, the mind, is a problem.
So
People who have the expertise.
whereas there are people with that kind of skill, they can knock this kind of businesses off the park like crazy, and they will make they will make a killing
But for
out of it.
me, what is the problem? If you come here and you fail, what is the problem?
Okay, that's a good point you've raised. Do we have a culture that tolerates failure?
But it's your life. Me, I didn't care.
You see, our culture, to an extent, is almost like the Koreans. You know, the South Koreans, they're doing well. But typically, Korean, in the past, I don't know whether it's changed now, but they had a very, very risk intolerant kind of society. You can't fail. I think Japan too has that, where people are a bit scared to fail. But when you look at the Israelis, they don't care. Fail million times, they like you.
But okay, so now you are here. Yes. How would somebody know you have failed? What is failure?
That's the thing.
But for me, because you not get a place to sleep or eat.
For me, okay, let me put it this way. My first venture didn't work. My second venture didn't work. My third didn't work. The fourth, fifth now worked.
Yes. Right. You're lucky. You should have been 20. You should have been 20. Then you're lucky. You're lucky.
You are going, if you're into business, look, I believe in scripture. I love God. I believe in the Bible and things. But when it comes to business, you are likely to fail in your very first few ventures. It is what we call that learning.
Do you know how many businesses me are registered and tried?
You see,
across a lot of numbers.
Wow!
Of scanners, as
scammers
and checkers. You know how many wrong people we have believed in, and how many errors. They don't mean anything. What do you call failure? I mean, for me, failure is
give up and
don't have any time anymore. You are gone.
Give up and just forget about it.
I mean, you are now in the box. They put you in the ground. Then you have no chance. For me, it's nothing like that. You come, but always, how much is watching? See, it's the perception that we have created in our minds that now I'm somewhere and I cannot drop that life to get to the dream I want to build. That's the problem. Because if you're able to build whatever you are doing now, give yourself 10 years.
Yes.
It's where to go. To explode. Unlimited. So that if you have gained all this, because most of our mates, just the final day that they're writing the exam, they are gone.
They're gone.
And they have been there for 20, 25 years. The opportunities are here. The Chinese, they are looking for opportunities. The Americans, the Europeans, they are here. They will just be telling us wrong news in the newspaper, but they are here. Some of them have bought houses. And they are telling you Ghana is very difficult. And we, especially the educated, who can build a muscle to fight in construction, IT, mining, oil, retail, everywhere, agriculture, processing, manufacturing. This is why we are producing graduates. Go and fight. You say, no, I want to go and get a job in America. You have been there for 10 years. Come and, even if you have to sell your house here and ground and sleep at Makola, zero, you will bounce back. That's the reality of business.
I met, when I came, one of the stories that really inspired me was that of, if I mention the name, he's a household name in Ghana.
Okay.
He was a pharmacist at that time, doing very well in Atlanta. And for some strange reason, he came to visit his parents, and they were living around, I think, the Teshi Labadi area. Yes. And the mom and the mom and the siblings, they were living in we call chamber and hall. So when he came, he visited them. They said the mom was sick, stroke or something like that. So he came to visit, went back, but when he went back, for some strange reason, his wife kicked him out. He says the very first day he landed in Atlanta, the wife literally went upstairs and threw water in winter, water on him, threw his things through the window. Get out of here. The wife was an African American lady. Wow. So the guy his world was shattered because he was doing business together with the wife. They had a pharmacy outlet in Atlanta. So he packed his bag straight back to Ghana. When he came, he said he was sleeping in his parents' chamber hall. He was sleeping at the hall. In the compound house.
Yes.
He didn't have.
But for me, what is wrong? What is wrong?
Yes, you see, he didn't have. He said no car, so he was picking normal taxi, not Uber. At that time, Uber was not here, so normal taxi. So
yes,
he decided to do some kind of pharmacy distribution. So you go pick here, go and sell there. Pick here, go and sell. This is a full-blown pharmacist.
That's right.
Pick here because there was no money. He did that. Today, he's one of the top two, maybe top three pharmacy manufacturers and distributors in Ghana and West Africa.
Yes,
his company manufactures antiretroviral drugs for the entire West Africa.
I will not be shocked.
Now his children don't want to live in America. They want to. His children, one of them is a doctor, one is a lawyer.
I will not be shocked. You know, I will not be shocked. We are the only people who don't see. I will not be shocked. That's why I said that. What do you call failure? You come and it doesn't work. Is somebody going to kill you? That is comfort. Are you saying that you can buy cocoa? How much is cocoa? I said that the cost of living is not
2 cedis. Yeah, it's true.
You mean that if you have 1,000, you can't survive? If you can't survive in Accra, go to Breku. You know.
Yes.
Build your dream from there. You will come back.
Yeah.
It is everywhere. The opportunities are everywhere. The lie is what we have to deal with. That is it's difficult. The government officials will take a bribe from you. People will frustrate you. Don't worry about the frustration. If they frustrate you today, no problem. Tomorrow, drink water, fight again.
Yeah.
Because it's your country. And that, I wish we could tell our people, don't create intelligent discussion out of this. Anybody with a heart to build something in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Those who want to be very comfortable, no problem. Just enjoy your Mercedes-Benz, your Land Cruiser, and just speak your American English. But if something is in your heart, there's nothing like failure. You hit, if you don't win, you die. What is the problem? You go. At least you tried.
You tried.
How about
you see, one of the things that I heard this, that somebody told me this, that I have a few mentors. So one of them told me this, that he has this quote that he learned from the gentleman who founded Amazon, Jeff Bezos. Whenever he gets to a decision point where he starts to think that, you know, he starts to think that, oh, this thing might not work, or this thing I will be a little bit disgraced, or I will be a little bit that. He turns the question around and say, what will my 90-year-old self think for this very moment?
Yes.
My 90-year-old self, is he going to regret that I didn't push a little bit further?
Yes.
I gave up too soon. Is that 90-year-old going to say, Charlie, I wish that at that point I would have pushed a little harder.
That's right.
I wouldn't know the impact I would have created. I wouldn't know what he says. That is what drives Jeff Bezos. So he doesn't do things looking back. That's right. He will always play that tape that I don't want to regret. I don't want to say, I should have, I would have, I could have. No. So he plunges ahead and do it anyway. Although it's hard, it's painful, blood, sweat, and tears, but he will push it so that his 90-year-old self will say, well done, good and faithful child.
Fantastic. You see, child is somebody who is driven by dream.
Yes.
A lot of people are driven by comfort. When you engage me, when I engage any of our mates who is trying to make any intelligent, Ghana is this, Ghana is that, I say, no, you want comfort. You are not a candidate for this. Go and get your comfort. We are looking for those who are ambitious, who want to build something. Look at the pharmacy. You just talk about.
Yes.
Millions he has now. How many are millionaires in America?
Yes.
Don't count to be a house.
Actually, I think he will even be proud to hear. This is Dampon Pharmacy.
I've seen
on Sprinters Road.
The Sprinters.
Yes. That's the story.
Yes, that's a huge man. Huge player.
Yes.
He's been around. I've seen Dampon for all these years.
Yes.
I didn't know the story. He can go and be in any hotel in America and come back.
Anywhere he can buy. He actually, some of the hotels he could probably be able to buy them.
And you have $100,000. You say is money. Okay. A lot of our people can go beyond that, can go into the millions. And
Yes.
every industry is ready.
It's
The
ripe.
only
It's
problem
great.
is the psyche. We have made our country evil. And it's part of the structure anyway. When you want to come, they say, go and do this test, go and do this test, go and do this test. It's eating us. You know, they tell you all the crazy things were going on in Africa. We'll be infected. So it's difficult for you to extract this from our own people, even though some of them have lived here for all these years. It's very difficult. Very difficult. The problem is not the country. The problem is the mindset we have.
It's the mindset.
There is a mindset. It's the mindset. And both of us who are living here, a lot of young people are here and they can't see any opportunity.
Look, for me, one of the things that I know, I'm not a very serious sports enthusiast. You know, I'm a casual sports follower. But I just saw, you know, in talking with you in private and things, some of the things that we've been discussing, I just saw a glimpse of it happen, I think, in the week or so. Look at what happened with the coach of the Black Stars. I hear he's going to be replaced. But you see, one of the things that really struck me when I was listening to the argument is that the moment the guy probably didn't win a few matches, I understand that's the culture of football. But they came out and most of the argument that I was hearing was, oh, we deserve a foreign coach. A foreign coach will do better. A foreign coach. So I was just, you know, I was just sitting there just thinking through it that, okay, look, I know I'm not a sports person, but I'm just bringing common sense around this topic. That look, I know that eventually we're going to get a foreign coach. That eventually is going to happen. The foreign coach is going to cost 3-4 times more. I understand that. Now, I don't know much about sports. I'll keep saying that. But my understanding is this. Why is it that I've never seen Brazil or Argentina have any foreign coach? Maybe they have. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant. I have never seen. You know, why is that maybe they have developed their system in a way. Why is it that we're going to pay all that kind of money and we can't invest in coaching programs for our own, so that our own, we are proud of them, and when they are going through a bad time, we stand behind them?
There's a colonized mindset.
That's what I'm thinking. That, look, this thing is very, very serious. Very
a lot of these guys are their minds are colonized.
It's colonial mindset.
What is the point of a foreign coach with a cap? I don't value it. The pride of me seeing Ghana Black Star with a cap is that the coach and the team was from Ghana. Because when you win the football, what are you going to use it for? I mean, I don't know.
I don't. Maybe we are all naive football.
No, we are not. We are not naive. But we have left them. We have left. Then give the country to a foreign coach or foreign president. But which one is more valuable? The president
it's
or
true.
the coach?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You may not be happy with a lot of the
how things happen.
Why bringing some, so it's colonized tendencies, and it's all of us. It's
very subtle. It's very subtle. By the time you realize you are inside.
Yes.
Very, very subtle. I looked at it and said, no, this can't be right.
As a matter of fact, when you hear the negativity towards ourselves, it is a colonized mindset working. A liberated mind will fight with their dignity.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You will not accept this subservient position because you value freedom. You value identity. You value that you are also a human being. The rest will tell you, no, it doesn't matter. What we want is the cap. It's not the cap. It's the story that brought the cap. So I side with you. And we need a lot of work on our minds. And so what informed your YouTube channel? I see a lot of series that you're doing. The other day I was listening to 10 skill set that the graduates need and how to go for an interview and win. I want to know what informed that. Why are you sharing this? Why are you creating all this content?
Yes, thank you. So very, very simple. When I came back, I had to obviously work with people, especially young people. And in me, one of the things I really enjoy doing is mentoring. I feel that for most of the privileges that I've had in life, most of the companies that I've worked with, most of the time when I get in there, I'm typically the first Black person that they have worked with at a department level, not at the company level, but at the department level. I typically will be the first Black person that has worked in that department. And most importantly, the first African they've ever worked with in a professional setting, most of the time. And most of the time, by the time I'm leaving, you get more brothers and more sisters joining the organization, right? So over a period of time, I began to develop certain skill sets, whether by observation, by reading, by doing, a combination of all three. So when I came and I started working with people, I could cast my mind back in my very first professional job. And I saw myself in people, or I could just project myself in young people that I'm working with. And I realized that, look, most of these guys, they probably have well intention, but their skill set is just way below.
Okay.
Right? Way below. Example, I hired one guy who was going to be an accounting. He did an accounting major. I won't mention the school. Accounting major. He came to work for me. Did well, talked very well, and in interview, I said, hey, look, let's give that young man a chance. He came in, I gave him some job to do, some little trial balance thing to do, and do some little financial modeling here. He didn't even know what I was talking about. He didn't, I gave him, he didn't know what Excel. All he could do is type into a cell, and that's it. I said, what? Who gave you that degree that you are having? He said, oh, I have this degree. I said, go and get the degree back to them. Come back and let me teach you for 1 year. And go and throw the degree and go and collect your money. You get the point? I said, so in working with them, those kind of notice that, look, it's not necessarily their fault. Maybe it's the system. Our system of education is very based on rote learning, maybe too much textbook focused, right? And it's not application focused. Whereas I remember my very first job working in my travel, the division that I was thrown in, very first job I went in my department, there were like 3 or 4 young white kids. I would call them kids because literally they were either late teenagers or early 20s. When you see the kind of projects they were working on, the models they were working on, these people, they were at that time, they had finished university and they were starting to do SIMA. So they were SIMA level 1. I could teach them all day when it came to their SIMA course. But when it came to the work, I had to humble myself to go and learn from them. Here was me. I was married with 2 little children. These people, they will talk of marriage. They are teenagers. And yet they were so skillful at what they did. You give them the thing, it was just papa like that. How they were typing, we type, we call it A1, B1. That's how we were typing. With all our Ghana degree, A1, B1. So with that, I began to get frustrated. You want something done at a certain pace because right now I'm used to a certain way of working. Right? I'm used to that. I'm used to certain deliverables, and I'm not getting that. And I'm pulling. Even if I pull, what is going to happen is resentment. You can't pull from an empty tank. So I decided I will spend more time with them. So I spend more time training. So you train. Sometimes you train them, they become good. Sometimes you get poached by bigger organizations. Yes, I've gone through a few of them, which is okay. So I remember it was the time I was listening to the news and I saw at that time, I don't know whether he still is, Senor Hosi. He was making a fight with the university professors about, they churning out.
I think it was so disrespectful.
Yes, so I saw that, and then I think I met him at an event afterwards, and we were just having a chit chat, and he was telling me what he meant. I said, okay, yeah, I think, okay, you have a point. If I wouldn't put it the way he put it, but I understood where he's
being nice. I think he was too arrogant and cocky.
Okay,
okay. You can be nice. I won't take that.
Okay,
because it's the same university.
The same university produced him. So
if you have come out. We may not agree with the teachings in the university, but the industry, a lot of these boys with good heart, you can give them 2 years.
You can mold them, yes.
You can mold them.
Yes. So that's what I decided to do. Now look, I will mold them. So I created, so I said, okay, look, it's a problem. The problem requires solution. It's not just skill young people lack. It's not just skill, or it's not the technical skill alone. The technical skill is super important, but there was one big piece that was lacking. It's also the soft skill side of things. The soft skill side, for me, when I was working in England especially, I got really badly exposed. So I had to learn very, very quickly. There were certain things I didn't know. You know, there are certain culture or certain things that we are used to that we go and we do them unknowingly in the workplace, and it exposes us. For instance, let me give this thing may not mean anything to anybody, but for instance, the concept of queuing. So you've gone to a place, let's say you're going to see a boss, or you're going to see your boss's boss to present something, and then you go in front of his office. There are two people who are sitting there waiting for him, right? My mindset in Ghana did nothing about queuing. So my mindset, oh Charlie, okay, I hang around. The moment the door opens, I'm going. When there are two people sitting there, very quickly I realized that that action was very rude.
But why would you put that on us? Because a lot of people will keep.
Okay, so, a lot of, I kid you not. One of the things I've noticed in Ghana here, most people don't understand the concept of queuing. Most people don't understand the concept of queuing.
He also came from another African country. He said that Ghanaians queue too much.
Okay. Okay, let me put it this way. I wouldn't say queue. Okay, let me use a different word.
No, I'm just saying what I heard. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Let's say this way. The concept of waiting for your turn.
All right.
Waiting for your turn. No, it's not. Well. Number two, another thing, as an extension of it. I remember this. I went to one of my nicest bosses. I've been privileged. I've worked with some few people that I could say they're very, very, very nice. They treated me very well. And I remember he asked me to do a certain report, print it and bring it to him so that he can red mark it. And then if I need to go and do something else, I do. So I finished quickly, did the report, he was on the phone talking to somebody, and he was talking. So I went and I stood. I didn't know that you don't need to do that. So I stood down and waited down till he finished the call until I handed the thing over to him. So he looked at me like that. I said, what have I done? Then later he told me that, oh, whenever you go through something like that, you know I'm busy. You see that I'm busy. Just do whatever you're doing. When you see I'm not busy, then you come. I didn't know all of these are very, very small, minute things.
Let me ask you a question. In as much as I will agree with them, where do we draw the line that this is British man's culture?
See,
this is African man's
okay.
Culture?
Okay.
Who is deciding which one is better?
You don't know. You don't know. Because, I mean, you don't know. And you got to know that, look, my culture or where I come from, those things you don't know. I came with a sincere heart. So I should bring this document.
What makes yours wrong?
You see, that's why we say culture is relative. Okay. As long as I'm in their country, I'm wrong. He's expecting that I should know. If I'm here, it's the opposite.
All right.
Right? Okay. Now, if you are in Ghana, and you are working with, let's say, a multinational company, and you have a boss who's been trained like me or has been trained like that British man, immediately you are wrong.
But you have also become British.
You get the point. I'm not. Okay, not necessarily. The mindset shifts, or certain perceptions shifts based on experiences and certain exposures. So with that, when you are dealing with people, some of these little nuances here and there begins to kick in. It's not major, but I'm just giving very trivial examples.
But, so yeah, I agree. But I will pull you. I agree to all this, but I will pull you. I remember in our JSS, this madam was asking the class before me, what is the name of Bola, the thing, Dasby. And my seniors did not know the name. And the woman was laughing at them. I said, I saw can't the Bola Gum. Why do you have to use Dasby? And why do you have to judge them? They don't use Dasby in India. They don't use that term.
in their homes.
So
Yes.
does that mean that they are wrong? So I'm trying to strike where something affects productivity and something
Yes.
is just cultural. I think the balance striking is very difficult, and much of it is in money.
It is. It
Of
is.
the European. So I don't know, but if
Okay.
it affects productivity, fine. But
To them, he thinks it's affecting my productivity. Why should I come and stand and he finishes his phone call? If his phone call is 10 minutes, I could have been using the 10 minutes doing something more productive at my cubicle. Okay. To me, it makes sense, right? Okay. Number two, if I'm cutting people in line, I go to the banking hall and I'm cutting in front of people or something like that. It's rude. It's for me. I've seen it. I've seen it so many times. You know, so many times. Oh yes. Wow. The other day I went for this Wodemaya event, and there was this gentleman. This gentleman was so furious. Why? Because. And the moment he started talking, I said, "Are you from America?" He said, "Yes." I said, "When did you come?" I said, 2 weeks ago. I said, "Okay, that's why." I said, "Brother, cool down, cool down, cool down." Why? He was in line going to talk to Wodemaya, right? And as he was in line, there were 2 or 3 people in front of him. He was so gently, calmly waiting for his turn to get. And there was this lady and her friend came out of nowhere, jumped right in front of him and started going. So the guy literally pulled the lady back like that.
And what did they say? What did
they say? The lady said, "What is that? Are you a rude man or what?" And the guy was so furious. Said, "Me rude?
Yes.
Me?" Yes. So the moment tensions came, I went to him and said, "Are you from the US?"
From America.
He said, "Yes." Said, that's why. Keep calm, okay? No. It's a very, very, very common thing. So just to make the point, so there are certain soft skills that you need to learn that helps within your work environment that also people don't know. For instance, things like critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, communication skills, interpersonal skills, personal grooming skills. There's so many of them so I designed a course that I taught myself, right? And I did it basically for the guys who worked for me. So I did that. So I did that program, and then I also taught the digital skills that they lacked. So, for instance, if you say you are an accountant, you did a bachelor's in accounting, I expect your proficiency level in Excel to be above advanced. Okay. Yes, I expect that. So you teach them things about how to create complex formulas. Yes, you have to. How to create what we call VLOOKUPs, how to create pivot tables. You should be able to do that.
Why do they have to?
Because that's your tool of trade.
Okay.
Yes. Without that, you can't tell me you are an accountant. Because in this book accounting is not what you need. You want to do proper accounting, you have to learn that. You have to learn financial modeling, right? With Excel. Sometimes with even advanced.
How would you? This is industry you are talking.
Yes.
This is just academic. They just went through academic process. It's not industry.
Look, I've seen people who've gone through the academic process in another part of town.
Yes.
And they come in, they hit the ground running. I remember when I was at Medases, there was this guy who came as an intern. He was in his 3rd year university.
From which
reading
country?
US economics. He was reading economics. Okay. Yes. So we brought him on. We needed a lot of analysts. And at that time, when they come in, they do vacation intern. You don't really pay them. That same time, there was another lady. That's why sometimes too, when you are drawing this comparison, we have to be careful. There was another lady we had just hired full time in our department who was an MBA. She's doing MBA in finance and I think organizational development or something.
From which university?
From University of Texas.
The same America.
Yes.
Okay.
Then this lady, she was full time. She was not pulling gas.
Okay.
We knew that we made a wrong hire in that department. We knew. It's just that she was new, so we wanted to give her some kind of grace period.
Yeah.
Then this gentleman came from a different university, intern. We said, okay, intern there, let's take our time, blah, 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 let's, Look, I kid you not, that guy came, he hit the ground running like rocket. He knew all the basics of advanced, everything. He could even write code in Visual Basic, although he wasn't a coding guy. He could do that. So when he came,
would you say that it was his personal
yes,
thing, or it was just the fact that you went through the program?
okay. So this is what we see. We see that the program foresees the needs of industry. So they lay foundation for what industry wants.
Yes.
And introduce them to some of the concepts that industry has. Because you see, one of my brother-in-laws is a professor in an American university right now. So sometimes we talk, and you get to know that even within the academic space, sometimes they bring in alumni who are industry champions. So let's say tech, let's say your faculty will bring you in one semester to come and teach a subject.
Okay.
Right? You are not an academic person, but you're industry. No. So they give you a course that you will teach. Guess what will happen when you teach that? When the students ask you questions, you have relevant live answers to give them because you've gone through the mail.
Yes.
Right? That's what happens. So with all these people, there are a lot of, especially in these high-end schools, they have powerful alumni working in Wall Street, working in big engineering firms like Boeing, like 3M, and all those kind of big defense contracting companies that come in to teach, once in a while within the faculty. And when they come, they bring what the industry needs.
Yeah.
So they sow those seeds. So now the students have a blueprint as to what they know is going to work. So all they need to do is exert themselves in their private study.
Yeah.
And learn
so it's
more
of a private approach. Because I remember in school, I had laptop. I learned Mavis. Some of my mates, my friends, when they will pick my laptop and they will go and watch movie. But I learned Mavis long ago. I knew how to just type up very fast for typing. I think in as much as the university must help, a lot of students are also not trying to exert a lot of pressure on themselves to learn what is happening outside because they want first class.
It's true.
That's a major thing because they are judged. My son went to do drawing and he had first class. And when they say the first class, I always ask in which course? Because first class in some courses is like, so the class, they don't say the skill set that they,
Yeah.
So it's a complex thing for me, but I think most students are just for the grade.
Yes, and that's wrong.
And that's why when they come, they are very sincere. I've interviewed a lot of accounting students, marketing students, and it's not only them, even the engineering students. When you talk to them, it's trouble. And for me, I as a person, I'm really not. I really don't care about that. What I care about is to have the heart, because within 6 months, if the industry that you went in has it, within 6 months, because of the skill set that you had from the school, you're able to assimilate things faster.
Yes.
I did my national service. Was a wood processing industry. We will break the caterpillar down, the bulldozer, the excavator down, and assemble almost every part, rebuild it. I worked there for a year. I could do a lot of things, but within the 4-year course, most of the parts I didn't know.
Yes, you wouldn't know.
But if I had stayed there for, let's say, 5 years, maybe I
would have known
everything myself. So in as much as we will put pressure, I wouldn't say but they have what it takes to be trained.
No, I think I agree with you, but the context that they are in right now, it requires a radical approach. I think what you are talking about is, yes, get into a job and then within 6 months you'll be trained. But we are not in that environment now. Right now, getting a job is tough. It's difficult. Okay. I remember this is 2017. I had an open position. I put it on one of these job portals. Just one open position. I had close to 400 applications. Right? So that gave me a snippet of what is happening in the system, that the unemployment rate is too high. So when you are when you are in a very high unemployment, hot unemployment zone like that, you have to take radical measures if you are a student or if you are an aspiring employee. You can't do things, you can't say, oh, let me wait, let them employ me and I'll have a teachable spirit. No. That you are finished. What you have to do is you have to take a very proactive approach.
Yes.
You know, I remember one of I've said this one of my YouTube channel and one of my YouTube episodes that for me, there's a formula that if you're unemployed today and you apply, you will get a job tomorrow. No matter how. Yes.
Let me chip in this. His YouTube channel is Osei-Kissi.
Yes,
he has a lot of content there. And if you're a young man and you're looking at how you can prepare yourself for employment and even for business,
yes,
a lot of content. So please continue. And if you have just joined us, I'm talking I'm interviewing. I think it's an interview. I don't know if I'm a good interviewer.
We're having a nice chat.
That's right. So my friend, my brother, we knew ourselves in Unity Hall, Kwame Nkrumah University, way back. But he has gone through England to America, and he's now come to Ghana. He shares a lot of his American. Okay. I won't call you today, so no problem.
You put me already.
We are joining ourselves.
So what I said. So actually, in building those kind of courses, when I did then I did digital skills. So I trained about the advanced Excel. I believe that when you're a new graduate in today, no matter what your field is, you should know Excel. You should know something about slide design. I come to why you need to know about all this. So I thought I did a course about slide design, how to design slide that will be engaging, so that if you're designing for your boss, right? Yes. Okay. So I'm not even talking about PowerPoint. PowerPoint is the default thing, but these days most people don't use PowerPoint. When you go to outside the country, most people don't use, because they are better systems that will give proper aesthetic look and that will engage people. They will not be looking on their phones when you are presenting. There's an art to that. Okay. Then everyone needs to know something at least about digital marketing. In this day and age, you have to. Digital marketing, how to.
So all this you are saying is independent of the course they're doing in the
university? Yes. Independent. So you do all these kind of digital marketing, how to do Instagram ads, Facebook ads, set up a YouTube channel for clients, your company, setting up a blog, managing a blog, all those kind of things, basic things, right? Then we go into things like data visualization, whereby you learn about using data to tell story, building dashboard, beautiful dashboard for decision-making purposes. All these things can be learned. So I went through all that program for them. So with that, I said, okay, look, it's not enough. Sometimes people want follow-up to ask questions or to get engaged more. And I can't just keep building courses is difficult. So I thought, okay, look, let me just create this YouTube channel to just pour out myself. Basically, it's an outlet to just, mentor, pour out. Basically, that's what it is. So it's more about helping skills development, whether in the employment setting or entrepreneurship, and also things about life generally. Even when it comes to relationship, I've been married for 19 years, so I know a little tiny bit.
With what?
Right? A little tiny bit about relationships, right? Or a little tiny bit about raising kids and that kind of thing. So it's like the whole kind of package. Now, getting back to what I was saying, that if somebody is a young person, they are looking for a job today. I'll put you are an employer of labor. Let's say you are in your office,
yes,
and a young man came to your office. You are actually not hiring for anybody. You don't even have the desire to hire anybody.
Yes.
A young man came to you and said, "Oh, Uncle Obeng Darko, please, I finished tech. I did mechanical engineering. I did whatever engineering. I've noticed that the unemployment rate is quite high, and my fears is staying at home and getting my skill set stale. But this is the deal. When I stayed in my national service time, I have been able to develop a normal skill set. I know Excel back, front, and center. I can produce reports for you in a flash Second, I can pull all your numbers together. I can visualize your data. So if you have a lot of data that you don't even know what to do with them, you give them to me. But give me 2 days, I'll come back with a lot of visuals so that you're able to make decisions out of the data that you are setting on, right? I also know about marketing. So if you want digital marketing things, I can help you with those kind of things. I can do all of that. And the good thing is that, Uncle, don't even worry about paying me. I want to work for you for free for the next 90 days so that I get a place to practice my skill set. All these things. There's nothing for you to lose. Because the downside is I'm sitting at home, just doing that, just TV and soccer and those kind of things. Now, assuming this person came to you and you said, okay, all right, I don't really, okay, if you want to come in, okay, let's, okay, once you're not charging me anything, there's nothing to lose, right? Okay, you just come and help. And true to his word, within that 90-day period, you realize that this guy is absolutely a star. He's indispensable. This guy is the real deal, and actually I'm getting him for free also. Come now, at the end of the 90 days, are you going to let this guy go?
No, you keep him.
Exactly.
You keep him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me say this. A lot of people are saying some things. We will come to the questions. A lot of people have questions for you. We will come to them. I happened after the MSc. We came to Ghana, and I went to a place around Osu area. I told the guy I wanted a place just to work and learn the environment small. The guy agreed to let me in. I said I don't need any pay. The next time I went, he told me, "Are you an Asante boy?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You guys are very proud, so I can't take it." That's what the guy told me. Okay. Now I'm saying this to say that it depends on the exposure of the employers also. I will not defend the students, not at all. A lot of the things that you're doing, this project that you just talked about, we need it in every university, independent of the behavior of the employers. But a lot of our employees who are very much unpolished. Okay.
Frankly, this is what I would say.
Yes.
If an employer is like that, honestly, you see, it's like marriage. Employee-employee relationship is like marriage. That's why most of the time you work for somebody, you'll give you put on maybe a 3-month, 6-month probation. It's dating period, right?
Okay.
If somebody is going to be that disrespectful to you, that person doesn't deserve you anyway. It's like marriage. It's like relationship. You date somebody, it's not everybody that you can date because some people just don't deserve it. You have to have that self-belief, that self-confidence. Yes, I'm looking for a job, but it's not everybody that I will work for.
But they know that the numbers looking for jobs are many. I will not make excuses for that.
Yes.
I'm saying that the program you have is highly needed. It will equip the students to think on their feet. Somebody said that you don't need, I will put it there, you respond to them. Everything Mr. Osei is mentioning is outside university. That tells you something. Do not go to university. Obibini, I will not agree to that. In our country, a lot of the content for outside the culture. If you were using one language, or one local language in our schools, then you would not have to go to school to have a lot of content in books outside. In Ghana, especially, a lot of the content is in English. And I think the better you can read the book and understand, the easier for you. So I would say that university is still minimum education. If you can, it's good because a lot of the things that the engagement, the intellectual discussion we have now is because maybe we start in some classroom somewhere, So
I would, Mr. Obeng Darko, I will take a little slight different, a little different view on that. I think if you have the desire to go to university and you have the opportunity, by all means, explore that opportunity. Yes. Right? You do that, but you don't need a university degree to be successful. You don't. Yes, you don't. This is the reason why.
I didn't say for successful, no.
Yes. Okay. Maybe I jumped the gun, but you really do not. Right?
I would say that it breaks a lot of things.
You really do not. But you see, it's not every education that. Not all education are derived from university. Formal. Okay, let's do it this way. Formal education. Let's forget about university. let's use the word formal education. You don't really need formal education to be successful. There are things that the best way to educate yourself is you yourself getting motivated and having the willingness to learn. In today's environment, yes, it's good to go to university. One of the things that it offers is that it helps your network alone, right? Today, me and Mr. Obeng Darko, we are having a discussion. How did that happen? Because we met at university.
You have answered your position, boss.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'll land. I'm coming. So from that standpoint, yes, it's good. You have alumni with me to that, right? But for actually knowledge acquisition, it's not all knowledge acquisition that has to come from formal education. You have people who didn't go jack, but today we are celebrating them, right? Not that they are celebrities, but because of their works speak for themselves. Yes. They didn't go through formalized education, right? Yes. So there are courses that you can take. Today, you don't even have any excuse. There are courses you can take, short courses, stitch them together, right? And then you have something powerful going. There are certain careers that you want to go into that you don't really need formalized education. If you want to be a pharmacist, that you need a license. Yes.
You know something. Almost all the successful people that we say they didn't go to school. Take their children.
Yes.
If they so believe that you don't need to go to school to be successful, almost all their children are going to the best school, the best universities in the world.
I would take a different look at it, because there are some super successful young people who never stepped anywhere. There are some.
I'm talking of the parents. I'm talking of the parents, the people who have become very successful, who didn't go to school, but their children, they have sent to
go to school.
Schools in the world.
That is fine. Sometimes in an African context, you the child, you have no choice. You have to just.
No, but I'm saying if the parents so believe that I became successful because I didn't go to school.
Sometimes too is what their friends will say. You look, hey, Charlie, Mr. Obeng, I'm going for my child's graduation at Harvard next week. He puts that face to shade it a little bit, right? Oh, Charlie, my son is graduating from Imperial College in London next 2 weeks. So me and my wife were going.
So then, I think the circumstances will make people not to go to school. But if you have money and you have the brains and you can do it faster, but it's not going to make you successful. That I agree.
No.
But it will tool you to use that to build something.
Yes.
Because
I would default. You and I. One of the common things between us is we are avid we educate ourselves, or we have been educating ourselves for years.
Yes.
Right. The amount of hours I have spent educating myself is probably 3 times more than the number of years I spent in a formal education. I have first degree in finance, accounting. I've done some law. Most of my formalized education, I never used them.
But
right?
You know where the foundation.
Yes, the foundation was solid. The foundation was solid.
The foundation, so it's not.
But the foundation was solid. But the core of it is you have to ask. For instance, if let's say patient care, you have a heart to treat patient. You have to be a doctor. You can't say I'm a doctor and I won't go to school. Okay. There are certain, you can't say I'm an architect and I won't go to school. You have to go to school. If that's your area, you have to go to school. You can't be say I want to be a pharmacist. I won't go to school. Sir, you have to go. But let's say I want to be, I want to be a businessman.
Be an engineer. You don't have to go to school, isn't it?
You have to go to school because engineering have got standards. They have their standards that you have to meet. Those kind of areas, yes, you have to go.
But you want to be rich. I want to be rich.
Yeah. If you want to be rich, it's not the school that will make you rich. That's what I'm making. That's all the point I'm making.
Oh, you want to become a president? You don't need certificate.
Oh, you don't need that. You don't need that. That's all the point I'm making. Okay.
Well, I accept that. But
okay.
I accept that. I'm in the same. I think that is just the foundation. It gives you the tools, then you can build with that. And I think that looking at the kind of culture we live in, people who run through the university, if they are focused and they know what to do with their lives and they get the right training, they are able to do more, easier. They do more and easier than those who didn't have any. A lot of people, a lot of our top business people, if they had even just first degree education added to what they are doing, a lot of them would have gone far. That is true because of the structures, because of the, I know business people that if you engage, the fear is even there. They don't want to, because they don't understand how structures and things like that, based on the things that they've achieved. If they could have that and understand that as leaders, you know. So I think it's a complex thing, but I will give my children at least first degree. If they, I mean, that one they can't debate it, they have to go. They will live in Ghana, but they have to go. At least. After that, go and do whatever you want to do. But make sure you're not poor. After that, go and get money and do whatever you want to do. I mean, but your only duty is just make sure you are not poor. For that, the rest go and do whatever.
The rest go.
Yes,
I see.
Go and do anything, but add maths to it.
Add mathematics. Okay.
Eventually, you're going to do with numbers. If you want to build business, you want to build investment, you want to understand money, you want to even if you want to become a president, you can get a president who does not understand numbers, and you run the economy down.
It's all about his leadership skills. Get stronger people around you.
No, if you are foolish, forget. Stronger people cannot make you wise. You have to understand some things yourself. Then you can ask them intelligent questions. Even for you to pick the stronger person, you must be intelligent.
Oh, definitely.
You see, so you can't get. They say that you don't. No, you need to get sense before you put you there. We have put people there, where you know. And then we are expecting different results.
my children, I think they would love to go to school, but I've always maintained that look, whatever you do, I'll support you. That's the most important thing. It's the support and the love and the care you need. And you know, whatever you do I make them know, because I use myself as an example, that look, your education doesn't stop the day you finish your writing your final exam. That's actually when it begins.
Yes.
You know, your degree is just the door opener.
That's right.
That is all. It's just the door opener. And what you get in the room to do is going to be based on what you learn on your own.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I mean, if I have my cousins' children, some of them I've really engaged for them to pick good courses in the university. Good courses mean that it's flexible. It has some element of math in it, and if they come out, they can do something for themselves. That's what I call good course, you know. And instead of them to say that, no, I want to become this because when I finish, government will give me a job. I say, no, you don't go to school because the government should give you a job. You go and open your mind. Then when you come, even if you want to start cassava farm, you'll be here, you build a cassava factory, you know, because now you are equipped. That's the essence of why you should go to school, you know. And anytime they want to pick, I tell them to go to tech, not to Lego.
You are very biased.
Yeah, I'm very biased, and it's very true because a lot of the people we have had as leaders, they went to Lego.
Oh my goodness!
If you have problem with our leadership, we should ask them.
Wow, so it's Legon's fault now.
I would say that. Go to parliament. Go to check the presidents we have had. Why did they go to university? Go to parliament. Go and see. Most of our institutional heads are coming from Lego.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I think it comes from the fact that typically when people start within the hard sciences,
yes,
they typically tend to work for people who did the humanities. I'm telling you this because why? Yes,
but the Lego people don't open business; they work for government.
Let me make a general point. That's an irony of life that, you know, it baffled my mind up until when you started educating me that a lot of tech guys are creating jobs.
Yeah, sure.
You know, so this is what I see, that a lot of technical people, smart tech. I mean, when you get 3 years, what course will they push you into? They push you into electrical engineering. Electrical engineering, civil engineering. They'll push you into that. Yes. So there are people who they push aside. They probably go and do social science somewhere. Then by the time you
those who didn't go any start in the churches, you know.
Maybe I won't go there. Don't take me on a slippery slope.
Okay, no, come back.
So,
Come back.
so they'll end up going to maybe law school, doing something in the humanities, and they'll end up
Holding
being
political
bosses. Because why? People skills is very, very important.
Okay.
People, so whatever you learn, you have to figure out a way that you'll be able to learn the social angle of people skills, managing people, motivating people, dealing with people, because that the technical skills there to take you to a point. But how many CEOs of, let's say, banks would they say he did engineering?
But those who build and
those
become
who build on top of it. That's what I'm saying. If you build on top of it, then you can become. But if it's just they'll put you as a head of factory or head of something.
Founding CEOs seem to have technical founding CEOs. It means they built the companies themselves. A lot of them seem to have
because they have the technical know-how.
Yeah, so they founded the company and they became the CEO.
Yes.
Those who the business CEOs,
corporate wealth,
career corporate CEOs usually fall on businesses that work.
Yes.
And they seem to come from Lagos.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a Lego challenge.
If you come from Lagos, don't worry, don't be offended. It's fun. But as a reality, we have a lot of you in politics. You have to set up and change the country. That's what. And we are enjoying ourselves. So some of the causes, I think what you're doing is so critically needed. And I wish we could just get you on every TV station. So,
oh man.
Because we need at least them to think. You know, it's so frustrating for you to come. Most people, first generation graduates,
it's true.
Have people directing them.
No,
it's a fact. So, you know, the mother was maybe
trader,
woman, a trader.
Yeah, my mother was a trader.
You see, first generation graduates don't have a lot of people leading them, and they don't even get access to a lot of people easily. So YouTube, for instance, then become a place that they can get a lot of information. And much of the content that we have in the country, you know, a lot of this content is not. No, they are just talking about their sports and entertainment and politics and
sports politics.
Yes. So what you're doing is needed, and they will learn. That's something about it. You may say that they are not listening, but once they watch 1, 2, the report you get, you'll be amazed.
Yeah.
You know, because actually most of them are looking for information like that.
It's true.
Help them to even choose the course,
yes,
choose the career. They all work with what they know, and what they know is, if it doesn't work, go and look for visa.
It's true.
Or go and do MSc and go and do PhD. And we have a lot of our mates who have gone to do PhD, come back, and it was not because it was not informed. They still feel like they are hemming.
Look, if your mindset has not been renewed to a certain point, no matter the academic ladder it won't do much. You know, it sometimes even compounds the frustration. I appreciate, you know, if you're doing PhD because you love research. I interviewed one gentleman. I probably would do a 2.0. He's a very young gentleman, and you know the PhD that he's doing in one of the prestigious, NYU. He's doing his PhD in NYU, one of the prestigious schools in the world, and he's doing PhD in linguistics.
Linguistics.
So yes. So I said, what is? You know, most Ghanaians go and do PhD maybe in economics.
Many people will give you scholarship to go and do things like that.
So the guy, and the amazing thing is that the guy got 3 different scholarships to do 2 master's degree and a PhD. I said, wow.
And do you know how many of them that we are losing going to do courses that we don't need?
No, let me learn. When he told me about why he's doing, he did his master's in what's the name of it? Something applied linguistics. Okay. And then he's doing his PhD in something. Is it something linguistics? I've forgotten. It's some technical name and then linguistics. Is it analytical linguistics or something like that? So I asked him, when you finish work, what are your job prospects? When you finish the school, what are your job prospects? I was blown away. Okay. He said, oh, uncle, it's not the kind of linguistics that you think, yes, you can teach in the university, you can help translate maybe some literature, but what I'm doing, the PhD is allowing me to do what we call AI, artificial intelligence and big data, attached to linguistics. So now the other guy is not finished school, but he's being poached by Google right now. Because
of the AI.
Yes, AI. Google, you know that Google has all these auto translation things about language. So he is focusing on certain Ghanaian languages because he knows that, but Google is looking, because Google is in Ghana, right? Google wants to dominate the market. They will dominate it for a very, very, very long time. And they want to entrench their position.
What are you doing that you want them to dominate for a long time?
Oh man, they're making money here.
No, we have to fight them. They cannot take everything. They want to go everywhere, take everything. Are they Chinese?
They sell advertising and things for companies here, right? They make a lot of money here. So the guy has positioned himself, whereby he's learning a language in computer called Python. Python
is part of a PhD course.
Part of the PhD program. I was surprised. And now he's just opened the whole world to the guy. And
what makes me interested is the fact that they're adding some bit of technology to it.
Yes.
If they just go to give you linguistics, come and do translation, no.
But it's amazing.
Technology to it, yes.
Yes. Artificial intelligence, language prediction, and I was blown away. I was blown away.
For that, I agree.
Yeah.
Perfect. I agree. I wouldn't say, but I hope you didn't go to Lagos.
Oh man, he went to Lagos. This guy went to Lagos. This kind of Lagos tech.
You know the funniest thing? If they were adding technology to all the courses,
that's where we can create the jobs quickly. You see the angle of tech that you brought. Because the technical side, you although it's theory, but you can picture something because you are being taught to create. So you can picture something, and that's something you can take it to the market and at least test it and build a small business around it.
It's true. So if I were in school, for instance, and I was doing social science, I would use half of my time to go and learn some of these things.
Exactly.
All the things that you mentioned, I will go and learn them. When I finish school, I will not have to wait for anybody to help me.
Exactly.
You will just pick yourself. And so, in as much as we know that there are few difficulties here and there, I think those who become aware while they're in school and start to apply themselves somewhere. I remember when we finished the first 1 week of the first 1 month after tech, I went to computer school.
Okay.
I went to computer school to learn some, those things.
Yeah. This is good.
I just went. I said, no, I don't have anything to do. Let me go and just learn this hardware, something. And even first year, I still put myself in computer school.
Yes.
And because I went to internship as well, to machine shop. I will learn how to handle the lathe machine. The drilling machine, those machines. Yes. I didn't have any passion for. I'm not a product man. I'm not so much a physical. I think I'm more of a process kind of person. Yes, strategy kind of person than being able to come out with a product. I don't think I have that much skill for it. But I still understood the engineering better than my mates who didn't have any passion for it at all. So a lot of our mates, a lot of the young people especially, must put themselves out.
Yes.
And make sure they go for technology as well. Put yourself out. If you have to go and learn welding, go and learn it. Even if it's farming, vegetable farm, go and learn it. Anything that you can learn. Cake making, bread making, or YouTube you want to learn. Anything.
Yes. Well, can you imagine somebody who's finished university, maybe they did chemistry, or they did biological science. They have nothing to do with cooking or baking. And they go to learn that because they love it. They are passionate about it. Can you see the business? When that person begins to make a business out of the baking, it will explode very fast.
It will explode.
Compared to the average day baker that we find, it will just explode fast.
Yes.
Because of the foundation that they have with their education. It will explode.
Yeah. It will explode. It will explode. It's true. And so, wow, thank you. We should be wrapping up now. We have taken all your time today. And we appreciate it and so a lot of the content.
Some people ask questions and we couldn't answer them.
Say it again.
I saw some questions pop up. And,
yes, go. So you can.
Yeah,
I can. We can go over.
Maybe just
somebody
one or
said
two.
that. Let me see. If they ask question, okay. So this is question for you. Should a person only start business in Ghana after they have established themselves back in Ghana?
That's a very good question. Excellent question. I would say this. Yes, you can. It all depends. It would depend on, let's say, the relationships that you have. Let's say if you are in outside, and let's say your spouse is in Ghana, you can run that business.
Okay.
If you find someone who is very, very trustworthy, you'll be able to run that business, at least to an extent. For me, that question boils down on the trust quotient, because what you are going to be faced is you are going to meet a lot of quote unquote unscrupulous people. Wow. So it's not that everybody is unscrupulous, but look, we've gone through so many that I wouldn't recommend that you are building a business and you are sitting in the comfort of your home.
It's not because America. It's not because America you complain too much.
You see?
Not true. Huh?
You say what?
It's not because America people control you complain too much.
You like control too much.
No, you complain too much.
No, not really. What I see is that to really build a business, it's not like you are investing or maybe you are building a house and renting it and going. But to really build a business requires a lot. It requires your input, it requires your coaching, it requires your touch. So if you have somebody around that you have trained very well, that you trust, then yes, you can do that.
Let me give you a typical Ghanaian mindset on dealing with somebody who lives abroad. I think that sometimes they are not, they are impatient with us. That does not help. Because sometimes you're running a business, and the person that you is representing you has no skill running a business. And even if you are involved, a lot of things will beat you. But then they overlook the lack of managerial skill and put everything on the fact that the people are not honest. Sometimes a lot of the decisions that they make, they may not be trying to screw, but it's just that they are not there yet. They can't manage. They can't give you the precision that you're looking for. But it can come out as if they are trying to screw you or they are trying to lie to you. A lot of the time.
That's why it's always best to either find a partner that has the skill set and, most importantly, the trust quotient. Because the average Ghanaian outside doesn't trust the average Ghanaian here. Right? That is the truth. That is the truth.
That's a problem.
There's no medicine where the reason is this. There's a reason to everything. The reason is this: they've had a lot of horror stories, or they've gone through other horror stories with other relationships. So when horror stories begin to build and build and build and build, it becomes accepted.
I have friends who are Chinese that we trade with. They don't trust the other Chinese.
Yes, right.
They still talk good about
together.
Ours, they don't trust us and they don't talk good about us, and I think that's a challenge.
That is wrong. So we all can see. Okay, what's the solution can we find?
That's right.
To that. Fine, my friend who is asking this question, if you are in that situation, my advice to you is work with somebody that you can trust. Right. Once in a while, when you are, that's why you also need to build relationship over a period of time. Once you develop the relationship, you find somebody that you can trust. And also, don't sit in America too much. If you're going to be doing, or Europe too much, you have to be coming very often.
That's right.
Very, very often, because then some of the skill set that you have, you can transfer. And also, most importantly, you'll be able to learn some of the local nuances, some of the local challenges. Let's say you are working and you need government approval. You have to be here to go through that process yourself. So that when they are telling you stories, you won't think that they are stories. Right? Because sometimes it can be challenging. You go to somebody's office. Today he's not there. You go tomorrow he's not there. Why do
you want them to be there? Why?
So once in a while you have to come super very often to supervise your business and your project. And then if you this day and age, you can use tools to track certain things. And everything for me, business is all about measurement. Everything everything you do should be measured and tracked. Every business you do, every metric you have to track. Not that you don't trust people, but you are building a business. It's not a hobby you are building. So you put in tracking system that you'll be able to track and get good feedback. Treat your people well also. But for me, my preference would be if you're building something you think is a really big deal, move your backside here and actually move it.
Fantastic. What I would say is that Ghana business is relationship. Never forget that. Business here is relationship. They will do a lot of things for you just because you have built some kind of relationship with them. Even the government, top government officials, a lot of the times it's because they don't know you. And so that is a different system. And I hope we are not judged by the other system. So somebody else has put something there. We are still in the process. We are growing, if we have to grow. But it's a different system. We have to understand that. So that
sometimes they won't tell you the whole truth. Sometimes he probably or she has probably remortgaged their house.
Yes.
Or gone to borrow money from the bank.
Yes.
And the bank is going to deduct every month from their income. Yes. And then he brings that money here to do that kind of business. So the very moment that money leaves their hand, they are in a state of panic already. Hey, Charlie,
what I don't understand it. You are not doing business where you are, and you want to do business in Ghana, and you want to take it so big from a very high level.
Because they want big. They want it big, right?
You're not doing business there.
They want it big. So is all everything is in this world is either greed or fear. Those are the two emotions in business: greed or fear. so it's like go big or go home. So people tend to do that.
My point will be, if you're not doing business, even if you're doing business, you still have to be gradual here.
It has to be gradual, but people don't understand that, right? People sometimes too people get there are a lot of returnees I've met. Almost everyone I have spoken to who have spent a good deal of time here, they've lost significant amount of money.
Yes, the same those of us who are here. It's not only that, we have also lost money.
so significant amount of money.
It's business. If you lose money here, Ghana is not heavy. You will lose money. And we also lose money. I actually have somebody I gave money to for land. He's now in America. He's a pastor. He took the money and went.
Wow.
Big money. Yes. It's
and
about
he
10
went.
years. Yes. He opens the Bible, he preaches. So that is the...
Okay.
Should you consider your passion after you have noticed so many opportunities, or you should dwell on the one that is more profitable?
Another excellent question. I think you've answered the question yourself.
Okay.
You have so many opportunities coming at you. Look, you are not Elon Musk. He is Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the guy who did Amazon. Those are the two entrepreneurs, maybe Sir Richard Branson as well, who've been able to handle super multiple businesses at the same time. Why? They have one thing working for them. Dangote too, right?
Dangote has handled more than
yes, more than that. So what do they have? They have resources. They have a lot of resources. Money that can buy talent, right? They can hire a whole slew of people tomorrow. Then they will be able to enter into so many businesses. Zoom Lion the same. He's done similar businesses. I mean, so many. Right? Because they have the resources. If you are starting, my inkling will be that you don't have unlimited resources like these people.
Okay.
So I would first of all look at the most profitable opportunity. I would say the opportunity that can bring cash flow quickly. Provided it's ethical and it's legal. It can bring cash flow quickly. Once it I mean, it depends. Contract is not very good at cash flow, though. It's not good at cash flow because the cash flow cycle can be very, very long. And if you are not very careful, depending on the source of your funding, you'll be in trouble. So
you mentioned ethical. That's why I brought it.
Yes, ethical cash flow business. So the one that can bring you the cash flow. Then with time, you begin to face in the other opportunities, because what you have is now you have the money. You can hire people. Then you just be sitting and overseeing. And as I said, if you built a lot of data tracking into your businesses, then you'll be able to sit in your office and begin to track all your multiple businesses, because now you have the money, you have the people. So that would be my take on it.
Fantastic. I don't know whether this one is a statement, but you can read it. We want to build castles in Africa before we come back. Meanwhile, we live in a single room at Abrochire. We need to be braver and come back. Okay, that's somebody. He says that the person is living in very, England. And
the English houses are very tiny.
Okay, so
when I got married, I was living in somebody's what do you call it? Almost in the roof of somebody's house. Yes, that's how terrible it was. So yes, he couldn't have said any better.
Okay, so you see, somebody saying currently which retail business is booming in Ghana? That one.
You are in that field.
Okay, so you can sell water, everything that people will buy is booming. Our market is open. I think our advantage in doing business in Ghana is your management.
Right.
The skill set that you bring as the person in the business is your advantage.
Yes.
Because then you decide what goes on. So usually it's not so much about this product or this product. It's about your expertise. How you're able to design the business to succeed. That's the way I understand it. I've enjoyed the show. Okay, thank you very much. So we are wrapping up.
Yes.
Okay, so somebody has made a very complicated philosophical statement. What a literate person with wisdom sees sleeping, and illiterate with wisdom will never see standing. Okay, I don't understand that. Okay, so another one. Sometimes it is just a mindset. The same Ghanaians living abroad will do all to defend even the negative things in the West where they live, but will never defend Ghana.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think most of the time, if you haven't taken the leap, or you haven't had the mindset for a Ghanaian to come here, I think the mindset you have to have is, look, I'm in it. I don't have any option. I don't have any plan B. I have come. That is it. If it is going to swallow me, let it be. If you have that mindset, then you'll be able to live.
That's
because the swallowing will come. So the pain will come. Right? But if you have options, you look at your American passport every Friday night, then you go. You look at your British passport every Friday night. The smallest thing, you will jump away. So you have to have built that inner mental strength. That say, look, no matter what, I'm in it for the long haul, because trust me, the things that you are complaining about, all of them are opportunities. We talk about bad healthcare. People talk about bad healthcare all the time. But we've got there was a company in East Legon, right? They invested like $30 million. Is it Lina Healthcare? Lina something? Yes. They built $30 million acute care facility. Yes. Acute care facility, and it's the American expatriates who built that, who brought that kind of money to build it. They saw something. They knew that the healthcare system is broken, so they see a gap and they create a solution.
Exactly. But people will just talk and say Akufo-Addo should fix it.
So, no, Akufo-Addo cannot fix everything.
Now, Auntie Tilly is saying, Mr. Obeng, you make us feel like when we say that we don't trust people, we should not say that. But we have experienced it. Auntie Tilly,
it's true. What Auntie is saying, I agree.
It's true, but we will say, leave us alone.
If the winter
you say money okay, you say money is in America. You brought money, they chop some, you are saying what?
It depends on where the source of money is.
No, if you came from Burkina Faso, they wouldn't chop some, they will leave you a little. You say America is good, so leave them alone.
But it's true. It's true.
But the thing about it is that they don't do it to only people who come.
Okay, that's refreshing to hear.
Everybody.
Okay, that's refreshing.
That we have also endured here. It's the same, I think. It's the same. But you become wiser to know who to deal with, and who not to deal with, where to step, who to trust, and who not to trust. So I think sometimes, for Anna, you feel so much, entitled too much, as if you cannot be hurt. but he also hurt us.
No, sometimes
But I also heard stories where people, you bring your brother or your sister there with you, and the next minute there's a split, there's fight all over. It's the same Ghanaian.
It happens, yes.
Yes, it's the same Ghanaian. So it's the same psyche, I think. So I say that when it comes to evil, everybody steals. They say that the Indians here are trustworthy. I say no, it's not true. The Indians go to India and see if they are not stealing the companies there. They steal them.
But the Indians find a way to work together, though. That's something that we have not been able to do. And
all right, but I'm talking of people who say that I'd rather employ Indian now because they are trustworthy. I say they are on a foreign land. So
I think it's work ethic. When we talk of work ethic, the Indians have it.
That one yes, but they also say Ghanaians have work ethics. I've met people who ask you what is in Ghana, especially those who live there. But I'm saying if you bring an Indian guy here and he's trustworthy, it's okay. You have brought a professional. Take a Ghanaian to India. You won't steal like that. Because you want to have a lot of network to steal. You cut the person's network, so you can't go and say, I'm going to buy land at Abokobi. You just go there to work, and you work professionally and take your salary, and that's it. So I don't think there's something so much wrong as they put it. But, it's just the environment, the culture that they live in, that the game have to be apt. So I know bloggers will say that. I know Mr. Patrick is saying, yes, Auntie Tilly is right. Yes, he's right, but I'm also right. Yes, I'm also right.
And I'm also right.
Okay. To me, I should be wrong because I'm saying Ghana. Okay, I'm defending Ghana, so I'm wrong. But no,
I think to an extent, you see, yes. I think to an extent, to a broader extent, yes. I kind of understand where you are coming from. That for me, it's refreshing to know that our brothers and sisters who live in Ghana go through the similar experiences that we do. But it's refreshing to hear. But sometimes when you are used to a certain way of doing things, when you are used to a lot of honesty, straightforward ways of dealings, right? You live in London, things are straightforward. You deal with straightforward. You deal with, you agreements work, right?
Ghana is not Accra.
But
most very straightforward.
But most of the
straightforward.
most of the business opportunities are disproportionately centered in Accra. That's why most people come here.
We have to understand a developing system in Accra. Accra is just how much percentage of Ghana. So you can't use that as to say that Ghana, everyone is this. Use Accra to say I was in Accra, a certain part of Accra is this. I agree. That's why we can talk. But you can't say that is Ghana. Then that one is not true. Because I can take you to a lot of places in Ghana where people go to farm. The cassava is there. Nobody will take. They leave their money somewhere. Nobody will take. They take care of one another.
But yes, it's true. I mean, when we were growing up and that kind of thing, there was an element of fear.
Yes.
An element of fear in touching people's things.
Those are still there. Those are still there. You go to a lot of district capitals, towns, and they are the majority. They will give you water. They will do this for you. They will not ask for anything. Accra, is the harshness. So they don't do anything for free. So we should explain it differently a bit because Ghana is not Accra.
Anyway, but I mean, I think the issue is most people come in Accra or Kumasi, is their base.
Use Accra, Kumasi. Say Accra and Kumasi.
Don't say so then Accra, Kumasi. Somebody will tell you that they did some business in Bono and somebody, somebody took advantage of them.
Yes, I agree. But they also do the same business in America. People take advantage of them. They don't say anything.
But in America, if you do that, people take advantage. You can sue them. The legal system.
So Ghana, we don't have court.
You have court, but there are inefficiencies. That's what I understand.
No. We have court here. You take them to court. People take people to court. Your mama went to court. Oh, yes, people go to court.
They do, but sometimes the result and
you will not use the bat of things in America. But you use the bat on us. That's my problem.
No, I'm telling you what. Not that you see. It's not that you are comparing the two in a bad sense.
Trump said that they stole the election.
I don't want to go there. That would
Okay,
be
no problem.
that would be another day. If we want to get on that train, we'll arrive at somewhere in
Okay,
Burkina Faso
okay,
tonight.
okay, no problem, no problem.
But
I understand.
the good thing is that we all agree that
Yes.
business
No,
is
no,
about
no.
risk.
I'm saying that there are a lot. It depends on the prism that you're using.
Yes,
We all
business is
have.
about risk.
Yes.
Try to minimize if you want to do anything with somebody here. Try
Yes.
to find a way to minimize your risk
Mm.
because the risks are there.
Yes. That's
There are
right.
good people, there are bad people also.
That's right. Yeah.
Most of the time, the bad people, their deeds are more amplified than the good. So
Yes.
you have to build a relationship, evaluate the relationship, whatever you are doing, track it, and then let there be professionalism if you can. And
That's right. Yes, but we need you to be hopeful and don't focus on all the painful experiences. Leverage them because we have all have had them. Terrible ones. But I will not say it's because of Ghana. I will say that it's business. And so Auntie Tilly said that they are afraid of voodoo. Okay.
The village, okay, she has a point.
You won't say it's because of their ethics. You see?
I mean, what can I say?
No, there is ethics. I think we should not be restricted to the courses we study in the university. So many people are fixated on their university programs. Hope we consider expanding and be more ambitious. Yes. I think that you should. Those who become very successful with their universities are those who position themselves in terms of flexibility of the courses that they do. There are a lot of courses that you can easily shift to any other area, and there are some courses that is very difficult. For instance, medical science. If you're shifting from there to go to another area, it's difficult. But for instance, engineering is not difficult, you can just shift and go anywhere. So I think because BT, for instance, is very flexible. You can just say, I'm just moving, but pharmacy is complex, even architecture. Those who spend a lot of time in school, it becomes very difficult for them to just. Law is also looks like that, that's my thinking, but so I think a lot of people, let's say Ghana, somebody said it's do or die, like you have to be. Yes, and another person says that, but not gun. They're afraid voodoo, but not gun. What's not to be afraid of? So, but I like it when we have to say what we also think about our country, because the negatives are too much, and I think they block the opportunities. People don't see. There's so many things. Look at the retail shops here. There are a lot of people who have been in retail in America or England for years. If they were to come and start something like ShopRite, competition, Melcom. You think Melcom does not go through troubles with the workers? But they're staying. They're staying. Palace, same.
And all these big ones, they are foreigners. Melcom is Indian.
That's the dangerous thing. Because people like yourself will be put off by the so-called negatives. But they will stay.
I think the opportunities are there. The best way to harness those opportunities is to get groups of people coming together with top skills that they've acquired internationally. Whatever funding they have, you don't need a lot of money, I think, to start. That's always been my just with your skill and patience.
Well, so we have enjoyed ourselves today, I think, and Isaac is frozen. He will come back to conclude. And Tilly, okay, we go for prayers, but we understand. But don't be worried so much about those who also cheat and trick. With time, you will know where to step, and I'm sure you have gained that experience as well. And a lot of good people you also meet, a lot of good people you also meet as well. So I'm sure. Let's see if Isaac, and please subscribe to his channel. He has a lot of content, especially if you have young people, if you have young family or graduates. He puts a lot of content there on career development, on skill set, on technology that they have to acquire. he's done a lot of good work, and these are channels that we have to promote. The comedy and the entertainment, and the other ones, we have promoted them. I think we should promote this as well. They will help us, to raise a generation who would want to do significant things. And that's why I also have a channel, actually, to raise a generation who can at least do something. So we're waiting for you to wrap up. So your final conclusion, your final statement. Sorry.
Yes. So I think it's been awesome having this discussion. Just I think, in as much as I've shared a little bit of what I know, I've also learned. This has been a fantastic discussion, and very happy to be here. So if you are a young person and you want to make good out of your career, I think you have to think about expanding your horizon. You can't rely on what you did at the university to get it. And also the job market is highly competitive. I can't emphasize that enough. It's highly competitive, as you know. So you have to quickly be strategic, come up with a way to differentiate yourself very, very quickly. It's not rocket science. Most of these self-education that you can do them within a month to 3 months. You are done, and it will position you far better than most of your colleagues. If you did physics and you were being interviewed by an engineering firm, and you went and there are 6 people sitting there waiting for their turn for the same interview, for the same slot. All of you had first class, and you went there and say, "Oh, I have physics first class, but I also have this, that, and that." That company knows that, yes, they are going to get you cheap, but they are going to get a lot of value out of you. You stand out very, very high, very quickly. There's no competition, basically. No competition at all. I do physics, I do the engineering, but I'll do your digital marketing for you. Right? So that is what you need to be thinking. Number 2, if you are thinking about jumping and coming, if that's you living in any other country, look, it's good. If you're studying, great. Study, get work experience. But at a point in time, if you really want to make an impact, I believe there are opportunities for massive impact in Ghana, and by extension, Africa. So that is where you can really make your mark. I think, Kwabena, you said something the other day in conclusion that really struck me. I've been thinking about that. We were having a private discussion, and you said, of all the richest people that they said the richest Black people on earth, so, or the richest Africans or people of African descent, when they say, let's list the top 10 richest or top 20 richest African people, how many Africans in the diaspora's name come on that list? It really struck a nerve. I'm just being honest. It really struck a nerve. Yes, that is true. You hardly see any Africans coming from the diaspora having their name on those kind of lists.
Yeah.
There's a reason to that. It means that the impact, wealth is a function of impact.
That's right.
The higher the impact you can make, the higher the wealth you can build. It's that simple. So if you live in an environment where your impact is small or can be small, then your earning potential could be small.
That's right.
So I will end on that note. So I think that's about it. I don't go on and on. I go on and on, but it's okay.
So we will have another one anytime we have time.
That's okay.
We'll have another one. So thank you, Isaac, for joining us today. You have shared a lot with us, and I'm sure that a lot of people, not just the young, a lot of people will pick.
Yes.
The thing about it is that you never know where something strikes somebody. You never know. Even sometimes just laughing on a certain line will strike somebody. So thank you for doing God's work. I see that as God's work. So thank you. I appreciate it. And greetings to the family.
Yeah, we'll do. Sorry about the little here and there. I had a little doom song right now.
No. That was a flash. Somebody was sleeping. They put on the lights.
But it's back on now. So
you see?
To my mobile phone.
Yes.
It will work.
That's right. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. So thank you very much, Mr. Isaac Osei-Kissi, for this, for taking your time to share with us. And thank you, everybody, for taking your time to watch this. Please, I'll subscribe to his channel. I'll put the link to his channel under this video as well. So thank you very much. If you have any question, you can send us email or message. Thank you very much.